Hello guys, welcome to the Phoenix Trophy second edition match 25 versus Phoenix Riders and Freedom Fighters question. For Phoenix Riders this is their first game. They haven't played any game so far, whereas Freedom Fighters question have played two games and won one. Uh, we have the run predictor which says about 157, but from the views of it, it looks like it might be difficult with paces coming in. Well, it's been tricky. Yesterday, we saw Pacers did a quite great job controlling in the power play. It was very difficult to score runs in power play against Pacers. It was very different from the previous games because usually spinners were the ones dominating power play, but it was a quite change yesterday. So we see that today, Freedom Fighters Cochin have decided to go with Pacers, and it is working out very well for them. Five dot balls so far in the first over. It is Jason and Salia opening for Phoenix Riders.
Yeah, very exciting start today. Bowling has been really solid so far in the first over from Mitchell. Obviously, from a Phoenix Rider point of view, that's not probably something that they would have wanted to see. They would, want to get off to a positive start. Jason being very cautious early on, probably trying to, uh, preserve the wickets. We saw how important wickets are in the game. So the first runs come through buys from a keeping mistake. We saw that across the two innings yesterday. The wicketkeeper costing his team a lot of runs, and obviously that's not ideal. You want your wicketkeeper to be somebody who's preventing any leakage of runs, controlling the game. And yesterday we even got to see five penalty runs in that first innings, which was very interesting to see. Not something that you see often in the game, but good first over. If you're a Freedom Fighter Kochi fan, obviously only one run coming off it. Initially, we were thinking maybe 165, 170 range for the innings. Do you agree with that, Kritesh?
Yeah, we were definitely expecting somewhere around 150, more than 160, I would say, because boundaries are very small. It has been looking very easy to score runs off this ground with smaller boundaries. It looks like six is very easy, and I think six is more likely than four here because of the slow outfield.
Yeah,
Players are getting it
definitely.
very easier to score boundaries. But yesterday we saw quite a lot of running between wickets, which helped them put a great total. It was really helpful. So they should also consider running between wickets today instead of going for the bigger shots, which we usually see.
Yeah, so
We see a lot
Ramnath's the
of
new
great.
bowler and he goes for a four in the first ball. I think the problem there was the length, very short to the left-hander. What do you make of that, Kritesh?
That's not the right spot to bowl to the left-hander. I think in this tournament, when you see if you bowl it very close to the leg side for the left-hander, it is going to be quite difficult for them. With the right-handers, if you bowl it on the half side, it is going to be difficult for them. So I don't think that is the right place to bowl. We see paces have been very dominant yesterday and today in the first over we saw Nishal controlled it very well, putting on some pressure for Jason, but we are expecting more from Rahman. He's bowling the same way, but it's gone for wide now. He should try to bowl it towards the leg side, I would say.
Again, I think the problem with some of these bowlers is the first few overs, they just don't seem to be able to get their line or length consistently, which basically just means that they're ending up, putting a lot of pressure on themselves to, bowl the rest of the, balls in the over, end up making more mistakes, which the batsmen capitalize on. Obviously, Jason got off to a good start in this over, hitting the first ball for a boundary. He's obviously going to feel a little bit more confident now after that first over where he was only able to score that one run of the final ball. Again, that too being a bye. So this is probably going to be a very important over for Jason, trying to get a lot of consistency, a lot of confidence into his game. It's the first match in the tournament for the Phoenix Riders, and they probably want to get off to a good
Oh,
start.
that's it. That's another great shot from Jason. It's gone for boundary
Yeah, it's
again.
just a one bounce for.
It's I think Rahmat had taken few pressure off from uh, Jason so far. First over, definitely initial put a lot of pressure, and he has used this over very well to release that one.
Yeah, definitely. efforts of the bowler in the first over, it looks like it's basically of no use now, considering in the two balls he's already gone for 9 runs in the second over. His line probably not the best. First ball being too far down the leg side to be a good line for the left-hander, and then he's bowled the opposite way and another wide. So there's an appeal there. I'm not sure what the appeal is for. Nobody except the bowler looked interested. The umpire
Interesting.
immediately showing a wide, so doesn't look like there was anything in it. He was probably trying to get away with bowling, that far down leg side. Uh, Again, not something that you want to see from your bowler if you're a captain after a good first over to just give up that much intensity,
Ransom.
just giving like two wides and two boundaries in his first four balls. Obviously, just two legal deliveries, not what you want to see from your bowler in the power play. He comes back in as a slightly better ball, still pretty short, but close enough to his body that he wasn't able to make any room and ends up just playing it down to covers. So no runs there. Got Cricket Better for Life joining us again. Uh, how's the Phoenix team? I think it'll be very interesting to see the Phoenix team today. I think the important thing for Phoenix is that it's their first game, so we don't really have a lot of understanding on the form of the players. But a couple of these guys have played in Kuwait before. It's an appeal for a run out. Seems to be a good throw, good take from the wicket keeper. We'll just have to see if the third umpire or the leg umpire in
That's a
this
great
case has
throw.
given it. So I think they'll be going upstairs. But again, just get back to your question, the cricket better
The
for life.
batters just walked up. I think he batter is
Yeah, I think he
has
realizes
found the
that
tent. Yeah,
he's probably not
yeah,
made his ground there. So early blow. I think that is Salia gone for a not basically. He hasn't faced a single ball yet. So
single ball. Very unfortunate.
yeah,
That was
unfortunate.
that on the first game. You don't see this.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very unfortunate for him.
not the best start
He
for
still
him.
he has not walked out. He's just waiting. He's waiting there to get the confirmation of his wicket, I think.
Yeah, I think it's gone up to the
Let's see
third
if the
umpire.
luck works out. Let's see if his luck works out. I think that's a wicket. It's a very close. Oh, that's definitely a wicket there.
It's good work from the keeper, something very similar to what you see Dhoni doing with that flick
Yeah.
on back onto the stump. So, smart work from the
That's
keeper, ending up,
mhm.
coming in clutch for his team. Uh, Early breakthrough for the Cochin side here, getting obviously the opener Salia uh, for a no score basically. Now, a little bit more pressure on the Phoenix Riders, do you think? First game losing a wicket like that, obviously not ideal. What do you make of that, Kritesh?
Yeah, it's definitely. I think it's a bit consoling for Rahmat after giving a lot of runs early on in this over.
Hmm.
But for Phoenix Riders, it's definitely how to say demoralizing because it's the first game and one of your top order opening batsmen has gone not even facing a ball. That's
Yeah,
definitely very unfortunate.
yeah,
We have seen
definitely.
in the last two games, yesterday and day before that, if you have controlled the power play very well and keep it below 50 runs, that definitely gets you to the victory.
Hmm.
So power play is definitely crucial for these games, I would say, with the fielders in, and you have a lot of chance with the smaller boundaries. There's a good chance for you to score boundaries. So utilizing power play is definitely what you should be looking at now.
Definitely. I
Uh,
think 165 under, I think you're looking at somewhere around that 165, 170 mark now. Obviously, Salia's gotten out, but it's in the early stages of the tournament. All of these batsmen could be capable of scoring big runs. Obviously, Shafir has come
oh,
on.
that's another run out chance. I think that's another run out chance.
This might
Is that
be
Safir gone?
again
It's a very
excellent
close
excellent work from the
from
keeper.
the keeper. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very excited, and I think the running between the wickets very poor. I think Jason was the one who made the call there, suicidal call. It made no sense from that angle, to take on the fielder, especially considering that Shafir didn't really run the first run hard, and the dive in the end from Shafir as well very poor. He almost did a knee slide, a football celebration, trying to get into the crease. I don't think it's the
I think
smartest thing.
he's just very panicked. He doesn't know what to do. His
I think he was a
mind
bit
did not work
confused
at
when
that
the
moment, I think.
call was
Yeah.
made, and I guess I think Cricket Better for Life says that Jason's playing for the Freedom Fighters team. So I think that's very interesting take on the situation. Again, you can't really argue. Two really bad runouts, both of them being Jason's call. Back-to-back balls as well. There's no need to take that kind of risk, especially after you've got 10 runs in the over so far. And yeah, it looks like he's gone. Excellent work from
That's
the
a wicket.
keeper. That angle shows how.
Definitely keep. We were talking about the keeper in the first over where he missed, where he had a misfield. We were expecting him to do better job, and he was proved us that he is definitely better than what we thought.
I'm not sure if this is the IPL Cricket Better for Life. I think he's expecting it to be a trade situation. I don't think there's a trade on the cards for Jason, especially not when he's making his teammates take suicidal runs. So Shafir goes for one um, off his first ball, so at least better than the duck that.
This is not something you would see very usually. Getting two runouts starting on the during the power play, that too.
Do,
It's
do you
quite
th-
rare, I would
do
say.
you think it's maybe because of the game? It's the first game. Obviously, they haven't batted with these batsmen haven't played with each other. Not a lot of in-game experience. Yeah, Butterfly says 165. To be fair, after losing two
Two
wickets in the
wickets.
power play and obviously not scoring a lot of runs, it probably looks a little bit under 155 maybe I would say. Um, the run predictor probably being a little bit generous, giving them a few more runs than what I probably have in mind now after looking at the amount of wickets that they've lost. Somebody with a similar name to me, Kritish.
Yeah, Gokul Das.
I'm backing Phoenix now. Obviously, my name being Gokul as well. I want to see some good performance from Gokul Das here. I'm backing him. Uh,
I need Gokul Das to be better between the
it
wickets.
doesn't look
I'm
solid
not
in the
looking for
first.
another run out in the early on in the innings.
Yeah, I think Jason apparently
That's
is
definitely
fixed.
a great comeback from Rahmat after giving two boundaries, two extras
Yeah,
early on
definitely.
in this
I
over,
hope
taking two
uh,
wickets.
I hope Ajaz is backing his team today. Obviously, he wanted to back the chasing team yesterday, but ended up not doing so, and they ended up,
Yeah.
coming and making a incredible comeback in the end. And um, again, do you remember who the batsman was, Kritesh, who came and played that incredible innings in the end?
Yeah, I definitely remember.
Shabir, wasn't it?
Shabir.
Yeah, Shabir,
Yeah,
his main
Shabir was the
man,
top performer yesterday. We do
came
not
back and
expect him to have
single-handedly.
a. Yeah, he was one man army yesterday, I would say. Single-handedly took his team to victory. At one point, we expected them not to go even closer to the target, whereas he proved us wrong, and it's definitely a great work from him.
Definitely,
So, what do
Shabir.
you think will be the runs for the power play Gokul from here? I'm expecting it's to be below 50, I
Yeah, well,
would
I
say.
was thinking maybe, 42, 43, somewhere around there. Again, it
Hmm.
depends on, Nichal obviously was really good in his first over. So it depends
Hmm.
on if he's able to, maintain that line and length once, he bowls his, I think usually we see these bowlers bowl maybe two, sometimes even three
Oh,
overs in the power
Nishal
play.
has got a good swing. Did you see that,
A
Gokul? He
little
has a
bit of
great swing
shape,
to it.
a little bit
Yeah,
of shape in the first ball. Obviously, well played by the batsman, taking his time watching it. I think that's something
yeah,
that we haven't seen a lot in this competition. Batsmen trying to take
yeah.
their time. So I'm happy to see Gokul Das maybe take a few balls just to get settled into the game, especially considering that they've lost two wickets in the
Two
power
wickets
play.
earlier.
So
Yeah.
good cricket all around in that first ball from Mitchell. You just probably want to see if that continues. Obviously, uh, probability, a percentage chance for both the teams. Big change from the initial stance that we had pre-match. It says Freedom Fighters have a 71 percentage chance of winning this game. Do you think that's accurate, Kritesh?
I think definitely after the two wickets, it has definitely started favoring so much on freedom fighters. But I was expecting it to be a 50-50 game. I don't think 73 chance for freedom fighters still because it was two silly wickets, and I can see Gokul Das and Jason have got good level of performance so far. They're playing it very positive. They're not taking any risks. So if they don't break this partnership and continue with this partnership for another 7, 8 overs, I would say they will be
Yeah.
pretty set and it'll be easy for them to
I think
put
the
up a great
problem
target.
is Jason hasn't taken any risks when it comes to his batting, but he's taken risks while
Yeah.
trying to run his teammates out. So, uh,
Yeah, we need to
probably
consider that definitely.
exactly. I think the thing now for Jason is probably to just make sure he doesn't force his teammates to take any unnecessary runs, unnecessary risk. Gokul Das seems to be,
Play very positive. Yes,
blocking the ball
that's a
really
good
well.
block.
Um, it just depends how much longer they can afford to do this kind of batting. Obviously they faced what, 4 balls in the over.
Yeah,
The runs have come through the dot ball, sorry, the single and the wide ball.
white ball.
um,
Yeah.
Not enough, obviously, in the power play. Obviously, we know how important the power play is. A couple of days ago, we saw Kadir Wali show up for his team and score quite a lot of runs in that power play. And yesterday, we saw how
Mhm.
important it was in the chase, even though they were losing wickets, to score runs in the power play. Got them close to that target. And I think in this ground, considering how small it is, how easy it is to hit sixes, I think we've seen more sixes than fours in the last couple of games,
Yeah.
statistically. So again, some questionable running
Oh,
again. Uh,
just when we were talking about positive, oh, is that a wicket? No.
no, no, he ended up not
Luckily,
taking it
luckily he
because
saves
of,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's Jason. Jason again.
Jason, I mean, there's definitely a single there. Gokul Das almost made it three-fourths of the way,
Yeah.
to the other end and had to run back. So I think Jason has to be like more involved in the game. He should be focused on the game instead of just missing the ball and just like leaving it there. He has to watch the keeper. It
Just
was Gokul's call and he didn't
yeah.
reciprocate that intent. So just the 2 runs of the over so far. Obviously, one coming from the extra as well.
Yeah, just as we were talking about positive batting, Gokul, we saw Jason had a swing and a miss. So that's not what we expect now. After 2 wickets, you don't expect your batsman to swing and miss it. It might be very risky. It might cost you a wicket. So we don't expect that from Jason. He has obviously faced 12 balls and scored only 8 runs. Definitely there is frustration.
Yeah.
And with Nishal controlling them very well, putting on pressure, that is not the way to take your pressure out, Jason. You need to take your time, get settled there, I would
Yeah,
say.
definitely. I agree with you on that sense as well, Kritesh. Like the last thing you want to do now is just lose another wicket. And if you lose another wicket this early on in your innings, it basically just puts you in a situation where you are going to lose out on 20, 30 valuable runs towards the end of the game. So the
Yeah.
last thing you want to do now is just lose a wicket now, especially in like a stupid way, the way they have so far in the innings.
Mhm.
I think the smart thing for them to do is take their time, build a partnership, and hopefully, if they're able to do that consistently, they'll
Yeah.
probably end up getting to a good stage post power play where they can start to score runs more freely.
Yeah.
And now Rahmat is coming back into
Uh,
the attack. He was,
Definitely, that's what we saw. Yeah, that's what we saw Gokul yesterday. Do you
yeah,
remember yesterday? Power play score was very low. It was below 40 runs.
yeah.
But coming out of power play, there was a lot of singles and doubles, which helped them get to chase the target of almost 170.
Yeah.
So I think if you try to getting settled during power play, even though you don't score runs, it's okay. You can stay positive, come out of power play,
Hmm.
and try to score those runs later on. That should be the mindset instead of going for risky shots here after losing two top order batters early on.
Yeah, I think
And
under 45 is probably like a safe assumption now, considering how the game's gone so far. 17 for 2 after, 3.1 overs is probably not anywhere near where you want to be in a T20
Mhm.
competition these days. So I think there is a lot of work to be done in that, regard, in that uh, perspective. Again, Rahmat probably the weaker of the two opening bowlers. Gokul Das probably would want to get going and probably should be aiming at taking Rahmat on. What do you say,
Yeah,
Kritesh?
yeah, definitely. Uh, Even though he has taken 2 wickets, it was very like for oh, there we go. It was high up in the air. Do you think it'll find its way to boundary? No. Oh, he dropped it. Oh my God. He got injured as
Yeah, I
well.
think it's hit him
That's
on the
not a good
head there.
position.
So
Yeah,
hope
that's
hope
not great
hope he's
positioning
okay.
for.
Obviously, it's not
Yeah.
the under the lights. It's never easy to take a catch, but you should be taking that. That's still relatively straightforward, don't you think, Kritesh?
Yeah, you should be able to do it. It's a very risky one because we see Gokul Das is getting settled now. Yeah, the bowlers were putting pressure on him.
Yeah,
He was trying to. It was working out very well on the Phoenix. I mean, sorry, Cochin side. If they had taken this wicket, it would have been a collapse for Riders, I reckon.
definitely. It does look like Gokul Das is going to go after him
Oh,
in
that's
this
a
one.
wicket. That's a wicket. That's
Vice
gone.
given him, yeah.
This is
So
not what you expect. This is not what you expect.
I'm very
After
disappointed
going
in.
for a swing, you had a miss, there was a dropped catch, you got your life back. You need to utilize it very well. You shouldn't be going for it again, Gokul. That's definitely a mistake.
Yeah, so again, I agree with you on that. I'm very disappointed with Gokuldas as well from my end. I was hoping that he would do better justice to my name, but like you said, after just getting away with a top edge, then the smarter thing probably would be to just face another couple of balls, maybe take a single, get off strike. Swinging after it wildly again, probably not the best thing to do. I get why he wanted to do it. There's a lot of pressure building on him, but you have to
Yeah.
show better, patience in this stage in a game. It just wasn't what you should do essentially, and it's gone against him. Again, just to let you guys know, if you are watching the stream with us, please click on the pinned comment in our chat box. It's the link to the Cricket Launch TV where you can watch this game live for free. So please feel free to click on that link, watch the game, and please do let us know what are your opinions about the games. Give us your feedback. If you have any questions, fire away as well. Yeah, I'll just let Kritesh talk more about that wicket now.
Yeah, Gokul. So I've understood what the bowling tactics is. Can you see? It is Nishal coming in, putting more pressure, and it is Rahmat who is coming in. They think they can go after Rahmat, but end up losing the wicket. It is working out quite well for Freedom Fighters Cochin. It is Rahmat who has come in. He has given few loose balls. That is, it looks like a great scoring opportunity for Phoenix Raiders, whereas they end up losing the wicket.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
that's what's happening. We were talking about 160, 170 early on when we started, but I think now it has come down to 135 or 140, I would say.
Yeah,
Even
I
that is
think
looking a bit difficult,
Yeah, I
I
think it,
think.
it comes down to the fact that it's probably their first game. Obviously, all of the other teams in this competition have played at least one match so far. So it might just be, first game nerves, them wanting to get more acclimatized to the level of the competition. Uh, but again, you have to like question this team. Two really poor runouts and a very poor batting choice basically means that they've gone from maybe like a 165, 170 line for the innings, maybe down to maybe like a 145. If that is, me being generous, maybe even lower, maybe 130, 135 as well, depending on how they go about the rest of the power play. So you'd probably think it's maybe 20, 30 runs below where they should be already, and that's
Mhm.
something that is inexcusable at this level when you're playing in a competition. The projected score from now, because of the run rate, obviously is 110. They'll definitely not want to be there. That is probably one of the lowest scores in the competition where the team hasn't gotten all out, and you
Yeah.
don't want to have a very weak start like that into the competition. Obviously, freedom fighters, they do have really good batsmen. We were talking about this pre-match, a couple of really good players in that team, who can punish you and punish you quickly. Pandian being the main man in that team, in that sense, and you were very excited about him, his performance in that first game. Obviously, he scored 59 out of 39 with three fours and four sixes. So a lot
Yeah.
of people in that team who have the capability to score
Also,
runs.
we should never forget to mention Hasim Mohammed. He has scored 60 runs of 40 balls. That is
Yeah,
definitely a great contribution. He has played only one game. So if Hasim Mohammed and Sasikumar Pandian come in, it
yeah,
is going to be very threatening for them, for the bowlers of
yeah,
Phoenix Raiders, I would say. With these two scoring 60 runs and 59 in one of the
yeah,
games, these two can take on target very easily, with the
definitely.
ground being very smaller
The
as
only
well.
thing that I would argue in that sense is obviously we've seen in the second innings in this ground, as it gets later in the night in Kuwait, the pitch
The ball
tends
is
to
staying
change a
low.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of um, there's a little difficulty for the batsman to face the slower bowlers, especially with the ball keeping low. So maybe it might be something that the freedom fighters might have to worry about. Obviously, they
Mhm.
haven't seen the Phoenix Riders
Yeah,
bowl in
definitely.
this competition, so it depends on how well they have done research. But again, if any of you guys watching, want to have any, questions that you guys would like to ask, please do let us know in the chat box. And like I mentioned earlier as well, the game is streamed live on Cricket. Lounge.tv. So the link for our stream is on the chat box. It's the pinned comment. So if you click on there, it'll take you to our website where you can watch the game live with us. So feel free to click on that link and join us and ask us any questions if you feel the need to do so.
After having two runouts earlier on in the innings, we still see that they're going for some risky singles. Running between wicket has not been great so far. And yesterday we saw almost three direct hits from the fielders. If we see more of it today, then it might be very dangerous for Phoenix Raiders, I would say, because of the risky runs they're taking here.
Yeah, definitely. I think the problem is they're almost, in a cage. They want to get out of that cage. They want to try to score runs. They also don't want to, keep, too many, like too much of their effort for the end of the game. Obviously, we have a question about Rigel now.
Rajat Venugopal. So Rajat Venugopal, so far in his career, has played about 207 games,
Hmm.
and the total runs he has scored is 4,427.
Very experienced
Very
individual.
experienced. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely very experienced batter. He's averaging about 40 runs, so we should be expecting a positive play from him. So I'm thinking that he might be in for about 25 to 30 runs from now. I think. What do you think, Gokul?
Yeah, I would agree. I think, like you said, he's somebody who's, if you look at this Phoenix Riders, team, he's probably
Yeah.
one of the more experienced heads. Very consistent the way he plays, very consistent in the way he approaches the games. If you look at his previous games, he's got 26 50s in his career and 400s. So he is the kind of player who can score big. He can play that anchoring role, which is something that they need right now. I was actually wondering why Rigel didn't come out to bat earlier. When they lost wickets, probably they wanted to protect him a bit,
Yeah.
considering they lost a couple of early wickets, and maybe that is why Gokul Das was sent out to bat ahead of him. uh, but I think there's a big partnership that needs to be played here between Jason and Rigel. Good shot. He
Good
gets
shot
off.
by Jason. Yeah.
He gets it
This is
over the
what
infield.
that's a very much needed boundary for Jason because
Hmm.
he was trying for it so long. He was trying to swing, but most of his swings are miss. So it definitely takes out some of the pressure which he had. And Nishal has gone for first boundary
Hmm.
in a spell. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
again,
a
just to
good
get
thing
back
for.
to Rijal Venugopal and his performances. Obviously, he's an integral player in the team, both with the bat and ball. So he's definitely one of those players in this team that you need to watch out for. So, really interesting question there from Chandrasekhar about Rijal. Again, very exciting player, very experienced player. So I think we can expect a lot from him now. But again, because of the circumstance of the game, I don't think for the next couple of overs he's going to take on a lot of risks. I think the goal for him probably is to protect his wicket and to let Jason be the aggressor. I think between the two of them as well, if you look at the statistics, if you look at the previous games that they've played, Jason is the kind of guy who wants to get along with this game. He doesn't want to waste a lot of time facing balls, even though he's only scored 15 of 20 today. That's not his natural game. He wants to get going, and I think that probably means that he's going to take more risks. And between the two of them, I can definitely see Jason being the one who might get out next if there was a fall of wicket in the next
Yeah.
couple of overs.
Definitely, because the bowlers are putting more pressure. We can see that there is no change of bowling. It is Rahmat and Nijal back to back putting on pressure. Rahmat has done a great job of taking wickets, even though they dropped one of his catch in the previous over. We think he might try to put pressure on Jason because the way bowlers are playing mind games with the batsman, it is working out very well, I would say. Jason is falling for their trap. This is not what you expect after losing three wickets early on.
Yeah, and
So,
if you look at
as you mentioned, Jason is definitely favorite for the next man out.
Yeah, and if you look at Rahmat, I think out of the bowlers so far, he's definitely looked like the bowler to bowl, the odd, poor ball in the over. I think each over he's bowled, he has bowled a couple of bad balls. Obviously,
There
with
we go. There is another bad ball, as you mentioned, but yeah, there is no fielder there. It is safe. It finds its way to the boundary. It's a four.
exactly. So I think if you were to, target somebody, I think the smarter option is Rahmat. I know he got the wicket in the previous over. I think that comes down to poor shot selection from Gokul. That's more than, the ball, being a great ball. So I think
Yeah.
Jason's going to look at this over now and think this is now the period where he has to, get going. He has to start scoring. So Chandrasekhar comes back and says both Jason George and Venugopal are good players from their side. We can hope Phoenix can win this game. So we've got a early Phoenix supporter. I think that's somebody who goes against Cricket Better for Life. I think who was supporting the freedom fighters. So
Freedom fight
um,
discussion. Yeah.
yeah, so definitely, I think if Phoenix want to win this first game of this competition, they probably will look at Jason and Rijal as two players who need to play a very key role in this team, key role in this innings to score, score big basically to put runs on the board.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jason, even with the boundaries, he struggled a bit. He's still only scored 19 of 21, so he probably wants to utilize the next five balls in the over. Rahmat is a bit confused with the line. Obviously, the first ball bowling over the wicket again goes well for him. So I think he's going to continue that way. You might see Rijal maybe trying to take him on as well. Already 7 runs coming off the two balls in this over.
Also, this is the last over of power play, so we expect them to go for the boundaries. We see them looking that batters are going for some risky shots, so there is a good chance they might be looking for boundaries. So let's see if it works out well for Rijal. There we go, third, fourth ball of the innings, of the over, sorry. Oh, that's a great ball from Rahmat. Slow. He kept it slow. There we go. After two wides in this over, he has done a great comeback. Kept the ball very low and slow, which made Rijal confused, I think. He's looking around, trying to find ways to get the boundary there.
But again, we
There
know
we go.
Rijal. We know the kind of batsman he is, right? We know he's not
Yeah,
going to take unnecessary risks.
risks.
I'm sure that he's just, biding his time. And there you go. He plays a really good shot through backward point, but there's a fielder
Yeah.
there, sweeper, who covers it up. So it's just a single. But again, probably something that Rijal wants to do more. Get Jason on strike, who'll probably see these two balls in the end of the power play as balls that he needs to get away into the boundary without
Mhm.
losing any wickets. What do you think? You know the mindset is now for the 10th over. Do you think maybe about 62, 63 runs is what the score is going to be after the 10th over from now?
So I'm expecting or the score to be end of 10 over is around 65, I would say, because we saw coming out of power play, even though they were not going for boundaries in the previous games, they were going for singles and doubles, which was averaging about 9 runs in an over. So definitely 65 is possible,
Yeah,
I think.
definitely. I think I would be thinking somewhere around along that line as well. Maybe a couple of runs shorter just because of the pressure of the wickets.
Mhm.
But overall, I think you're right. I think the intent should be there. They should be looking at scoring runs at a quicker pace. At least maybe more ones and twos in the power play. I think that's a stupid
Oh,
shot from Jason,
I think that he caught
and
it. I think he caught it.
a
That's a
lot of
wicket.
juggling in the field. But I think the field recovers, takes a good catch in the end,
Good
and
catch. Yeah.
Jason, after struggling to his 20 of 24,
I,
gets out in the
I,
last ball of the power play. Not only Kritesh has he gotten a couple of his teammates out with really stupid run out decisions.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but this ball, I would say, definitely we should give credit to Rahmat. It was definitely the best ball he has bowled so far in this innings.
it's a good
What do you
slow
think?
ball, almost confused
Yeah,
Jason. He was half-hearted whether he wanted to block it or go over the
go for it.
infield.
Yeah,
Ends up chipping the ball to covers. Is again not really the smartest shot. The fielder probably should have done
Sid-
better than that first instance, but really good recovery in the end to
good
take
recovery.
a
Yeah,
one-handed grab in the end. And obviously, Jason, we know that he's capable of scoring runs. It hasn't really gone well for him today. Horrible start for the season for him with a couple of runouts that he instigated in the beginning of the innings, and now he's almost basically thrown his wicket away. If you're Rijal, you're probably not happy with that. You wanted to, make a partnership with Jason.
yeah.
Again, hasn't really gone that way, which is something that you're looking at as, you know, an
I think
inconvenience.
in this particular tournament, this is what we are lacking, Gokul, because the batters, even though there has been wickets falling early on, you should come and try to build a partnership. That is what we don't see here. The batters, they don't try to build a partnership. They're just trying to go for runs and they end up losing the wickets. So I think the mindset of the batter should change and they should try to build a partnership at least for a few overs and then go for it.
Yeah, so we have a question here from Chandrasekhar about the bowling lineup for Phoenix Riders. I think the problem is, Chandrasekhar, the issue with Phoenix Riders is their first game, and I've seen it, throughout this competition so far. Teams that haven't played games, their bowling lineup is very inconsistent. They will have a couple of bowlers who are able to come in the power play, restrict runs, but then they leak runs post power play through their part-time bowlers. And I think that's something that's going to be happening today as well with the Phoenix Riders. But again, it's the first game that they're playing in the competition as a team. It might be that they have bowlers who are able to come and bowl variations, bowl better pairs. Again, Izan comes in first ball, bowls
This
a
is
really
what you
poor
see
ball
from
close to
an
four.
experienced batter, I would say. He waits for it, he gets a loose ball, utilizes it very well, scores a boundary. This is what you expect. You don't expect your batsman to swing around for every ball.
Yeah,
So
definitely. I
but
think
that's well played shot from Rijal, I would say.
with with the Freedom Fighters, they have a really solid batting lineup. They have players who can, punish you if you're not careful. So I think that is something that you'll have to have a look at. Pandian, we mentioned earlier, really solid player, able to score runs really well. We saw his performance in that first game where he was hitting, boundaries left, right, and center. So even if the Phoenix bowlers do play, like, do bowl well, I think Abdul Salam is a good bowler in that Phoenix team. He's a good all-rounder. I think we might see him with the bat as well later on in this innings. Maybe somebody that we might have to, keep an eye out. I just honestly think that they're going to struggle a bit with the ball. But the conditions probably do favor the bowling team in the second innings, as we've
Yeah.
seen throughout this competition.
Uh, I would, as you see, the bowler Izan, he's an youngster. He is just 16 years old. He has played 25 games. It's not been quite good so far. He has bowled to loose balls, but at this age, playing at this level, it's really great, very great from Izan, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. It's
He's a
never easy for a 16-year-old to play against, grown adults at any level, but there's a drop catch there.
drop catch, yeah.
It's the
We saw yesterday the same place, there were twice dropped catches, so I think you should have a better fielder place there.
Yeah, obviously backward point being like a backward point gully area. That's like a place where you need to always have your best fielders.
Best fielder,
And
yeah.
we saw that two drop catches in that second innings ended up costing them the game. Shabir came in and
Yes.
punished them after those two drop catches. So we'll just have to wait and see if Rabin Shah is able to come and make a big difference after those two drop catches. And obviously Rijal probably wants to um, make sure that Robin Shah doesn't make those kind of judgments for the rest of maybe the next 3-4 overs at least, because the last thing they want is to lose another wicket. Another player, again, just to talk about the bowling lineup of Phoenix Riders, is Gokul Das. Obviously, you saw he wasn't able to do a lot with the bat, but he is a capable bowler. He's a good all-rounder in this team, so he probably wants to come back and prove himself with the ball. Um, Again, that's something that you might think might be difficult with the conditions against good quality opposition. But here you can see Izan, 16-year-old, ends up
Yeah.
bowling a really poor ball in his first ball and ended up making amends for the rest of the over. So you might
Yeah,
expect something
that's
similar from the
absolutely
rest of the
great.
guys.
Yeah, like initially when we're talking that we have the teams mostly they have good bowlers. They utilize the bowlers during power play, control runs, and coming out of power play, they run out of better bowlers. They have to use part-time bowlers. They end up losing runs. So I thought maybe that uh, freedom fighters Cochin are of same kind. They don't have better bowlers coming out of power play, but Izan definitely proved us wrong after having a bad ball initially in this over, he came back, controlled it very well. Almost he had a wicket, but very unfortunate from the fielding.
Yeah, I think
But I think definitely he's in for he might take wickets. I think
yeah.
he's definitely putting pressure on batting.
I think we're going to see the introduction of spin now into this Phoenix Riders innings. Obviously, Febin, quality bowler. Let's just have a look to see what he can do. And again, I think everybody struggles a bit initially to get the pace of the ball when the slow bowlers come in. So I think Febin's the kind of person who can maybe put a little bit more pressure economically. Here we can see Rijal going and speaking to Rabin Shah about maybe the approach to take against Febin. That first 10 score that we were discussing earlier, you probably think it's come down a little bit more, maybe about 55 runs now from this point onwards, because of the way the game's gone. Again, projected score 118, massively under par. You're maybe looking 30, 40 runs at least below where they should be, based on their pre-match calculation. So good bowling so far from Febin, not giving any room for the batsman to play any aggressive shots. Rabin Shah trying to make some um, creative decisions to score runs, maybe to rotate strike, but not going his way so far. Rijal probably not happy. Probably wants to face the right arm spin bowler. But again, it's just going to be another dot ball. So a lot of pressure
Yeah.
coming in, a lot of conversation between Rijal and Rabin Shah. I think Rijal's very upset with the way the game's gone so far. Do you say?
Yeah, Rijal is definitely upset because he is a well-experienced batter. Losing partners will definitely frustrate him. So if you're someone who's come in, you expect to build partnership with Rijal
It's a
and
thick
rotate
outside edge,
strike.
and
Yeah.
it looks like it's gonna go to the boundary. But again, the outfield being slow enough means it's just gonna be a single. If you're Rabin Shah, you're probably happy to get off strike with that single. But again, it's just another like single ball basically for Rijal to face. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna be happy to take a single and keep strike for the next over. Do you think that's
Yeah,
probably what he
and
wants?
yeah, definitely he would like to keep strike. I think maybe he might be looking to go for a single there.
Sorry to
Fabian,
cut
he
you
has
off,
proved that.
Pritesh.
Yeah,
Chandrasekhar asks where he can watch the stream. Chandrasekhar, if you look at the pinned comment in the chat, I'll put the link again within the chat. If you click on that link, it'll take you to the cricketlaunch.tv website, where we are streaming this game as well as a lot of the games in the Kuwaiti Falcons Championship live. So if you click on that link, you'll be able to go and watch the game along with us. So please feel free to click on that link, and then you'll be able to watch the game live. Feel free to share that link as well with any friends or family members of yours who would be interested in watching the game as well. And yeah, do let us know what your thoughts are in the game as you watch the game live on cricketlaunch.tv.
and whenever you have a doubt or something, if you say that, if you have whatever thoughts you have, you can share it with us, and we can have a chat about it. You can give your thoughts, and we'll reply with ours. So Izan coming back into attack. Last over, Fabian had proved that he is definitely an experienced bowler. He has played 105 games and taken 71 wickets, and his economy is about 7.5. He's
No
definitely
worries,
showed that.
Chandrasekhar. More than happy to help you watch the stream along with us. Obviously, we had a few people yesterday in the chat who were very active, giving us their thoughts on the game, which is obviously very interesting. So we're more than happy to have, more lovers of the sport, join in as we see Izan. Very good player by the looks of it. Obviously, he's only played 25 games. He's only 16 years old, but very excited with what I've seen so far. Kritesh, do you agree?
Yeah, he's had a good comeback after the first boundary. Even though he gives like one loose ball, I would say he controls it. And we saw the first ball, it was really great ball from Izan.
Yeah, I think
For
that's
a
a pressure
16-year to
release
come
shot.
play against experienced batsmen, putting
Yeah,
them on pressure, that's really
definitely.
great
I
job.
think that's a pressure release boundary for the Phoenix Riders, especially Rabin Shah, considering the way he's struggled with the bowling so far. Again, not the best ball, bowling that far outside off stump, the bowling that full. You're probably asking to get hit, but good comeback, very good ball. Obviously, the keeper standing up to him basically means that the batsman's not going to step out, gives him a little bit more, comfort to bowl straight, and I think that's the smart thing to do, bowl straight. That fourth stump, fifth stump line outside off stump. If you
Mhm.
bowl there to a batsman who is struggling, Robin Shah's batting with an open stance, you're probably going to make him play more risky shots. That's not where you want to bowl again. Ends up getting an outside edge, thick outside edge, but lands safely, ends up going for a four. Um, Again, maybe not the best outcome for him, After
Mhm.
bowling those two balls, maybe too far outside of stump. Do you think, Ritesh?
This is not what you expect. Previous over, he was putting pressure, especially on Rabin Shah, but he has whatever the pressure he has built on the previous over, Rabin Shah has taken it out on this over. You don't once you make a mistake, you don't repeat it. That's what I would expect from Rabin Shah. He's given the same ball again.
But I think they have a little bit more cover on the
Yeah, they've changed the feeling.
boundary now. So there's a sweeper
Yeah.
there, so it's not an issue. It's just going to be a single, and I think it's a good over for Rabin Shah. A couple of
Mhm.
boundaries. Again, the way the boundaries came about, probably not the best shots from him, but overall, you
Mhm.
probably wouldn't complain if you are Rabin Shah now, just to get those boundaries, get some runs under your belt. You feel a little bit more confident now. Again,
Mhm.
Rijal probably not facing as many balls as you want to. Uh, Rabin Shah probably he's already faced the same number of balls as Rijal, even though he's come after that wicket in a couple of overs ago of Jason. So um, interesting finish to the over.
Just a
Played
single result
straight
gives the
towards
strike, I
point.
think so.
Yeah, and I think it's
No,
just a
they
not
didn't
out.
go for a single. Yeah,
Yeah, he
it
hit
was
it
just.
too well to that fielder, so no singles
Mhm.
there. So after the ninth over, 50 for four. What are your thoughts, Kritesh?
I think they're going very positively now. We're expecting them to score 9 or 10 runs, and I think they're back in track. They're not going for any risky shots. It's looking good. We were expecting about 65 runs, even though I don't think they might be able to reach 65, but reaching somewhere closer to 60 might be very positive for the Phoenix Raiders at this point after losing 4 wickets early on. And it is definitely testing their middle order. We have seen most of the middle orders in the previous games. They come in, they don't have patience. They try to go for runs, swing around, lose their wicket. But I think with Rijal's advice, Rabin Shah is playing great, and they are doing it. They're performing very well. It's very good, positive cricket from them.
Yeah, so just to answer your question there, Pyro, we cover a lot of the Kuwaiti competitions now. So as of right now, the Falcons Championship, the Gold Division and the Silver Division is what we're covering live on cricketlounge.tv. That's what we have, set up for the next few days. If you were, watching the games, over the last, week or so, you probably would have seen that we were also covering a lot of games in the UAE. So the couple of the competitions that we are covering right now is in that GCC region and that Middle East region in UAE and Kuwait. But we have a lot of exciting cricket, planned for the future. We are having a look at adding a couple of other competitions. And if you guys are interested in watching esports, we also cover a lot of e-cricket. Over on that website as well. So if you click on the website and go to all of the competitions that we play, sorry, we show, you can see we play games on e-cricket. They are set up for the next couple of days as well. So please have a look on the website to see if there's any other games that you might be interested in watching, and do let us know as well, because the more the games you guys are interested in watching, the more games we'll try to cover live through our commentary on YouTube as well. So I'm gonna answer a couple of questions as well that has come through from Chandrasekhar.
Yeah,
He
Chandrasekhar
says,
has said slight advantage for Phoenix Riders in the name of Rijit. Definitely, I agree to it. After losing two of his partners, Rijal has made his mind and he's giving some guidance to Rabin Shah, who's a middle order batter, and helping him perform well, not taking any risk. And if Rijal and Rabin Shah stays there, build partnership, it might be a good advantage for Phoenix Riders to take the game
yeah,
in
and
their own way.
definitely in this competition, we've seen it. Obviously, the straight boundaries being slightly longer than the square boundaries, and the way the angle of the bowling comes, from most bowlers, they end up bowling, almost on the leg of the left-hander. And somebody like Rijal, who loves playing that, leg glance or that pull shot, would be happily, taking on those bowlers who bowl on his leg side. With the square boundary and how small the ground is, it is definitely an advantage to have a left-hander with this much experience and this much quality in your team like Rijal. We saw that yesterday as well. Probably not the most convincing batting performance, but we saw the left-hander coming in later in the game and playing a significant cameo to help Shabir take his team to victory yesterday. So like you said, I think having a left-hander in this ground in this competition is definitely a bonus, and hopefully the Phoenix Riders can utilize Rijal throughout the rest of the competition as well.
Very similar to left-hander Shabi's batting yesterday. I would also say that if you are a left-arm spinner, it really has a great impact. But we
100%. We
have
saw
seen,
that.
we have seen that batters really struggle against left-arm spinners in this particular pitch.
Yeah.
So left-handers have got a quite advantage in this particular tournament. We
100%.
will say
I
Chandrasekhar.
agree with you, and I think one of the most exciting players in the league so far for Stack CC, Rohan Vijayawardena, the left arm spinner, obviously, top wicket taker for his team. The ability to have a left arm spinner of that quality in your team almost gives you, four economical overs. I know it didn't probably go his way for the first couple of overs. He bowled against AP11 when, Wali took him on and scored a lot of runs. Again, it happens, one-off games, but he came back really well. He bowled very economical overs, after that Wali wicket in that game. So just to have a left-arm player gives you that advantage, and obviously that left arm spin option as well is a massive boost, especially in that second innings when the bounce isn't as consistent in the wicket. So again, a little bit of aggression from Rabin Shah. Do you think he's getting on his back foot, trying to pull the ball, just a
Yeah,
single
I
this
think
time?
after facing 19 balls so far, he looks quite confident now. He has not gone for risky shot. He has taken it very well, I would say. He has timed it really well. Just that he couldn't find the gap between the fielders. It went straight onto the fielder's hand. But he's looking confident now. I think we might be looking for a lot of these shots from Rabin Shah.
Hmm.
Uh, like in this particular competition, I would say if you are someone who is batting first,
Hmm.
uh, you should be expecting somewhere around 170 because the pitch looks really good to bat on in the first innings. It is bouncing well. There is not a lot of turn for spinners. Boundaries are small, so you should be expecting somewhere more than 170 to put up a great total and give a tough competition for
Definitely,
chase.
definitely. Pyro says that Original's been batting slowly, and I think as difficult as it is to justify this, strike rate in a T20 game, I think he's almost forced to bat slowly. He can't afford to lose his wicket at this point, considering there's
Yeah,
still 10 overs
definitely I
or
agree.
9 overs left in the game now after this ball. You would expect, a couple of overs from maybe the weaker bowlers in this team to come through as well. You probably want to choose your battles at this point. The way the run rate is going, they're looking at there's just between those two fielders ending up,
It's very
going to the
lucky.
boundary, but couple of runs there for Rabin Shah. I think this is what Rijal is trying to avoid, to take that risk. I think, he's very upset with his, striker as well. Probably not the smart thing to do. Again, I know they've only scored 2 runs of the over so far. You want to make something of that over, especially when the projected score is 108 at a run rate of 5.3. I fully agree with you on that. Pyro, where you said that he's batting slowly. He is batting slowly, but I think you also have to consider the situation that he's in. If he loses a wicket now, that probably means it's another collapse in the innings, and they might not even get to 120. So I think he's just trying to protect himself, protect his team, and try to get to the last 5 overs before he starts playing any more aggressive shots. Febin comes back into the bowling attack. Obviously, he's bowled really well in the 2 overs, only going for 6 runs. How important is that, Kritesh, to bowl this economically in this middle
Yeah,
period in the game?
Fabian, being a very experienced bowler, he's putting on pressure. As Pyro was mentioning that Rigel is playing very slow. I think even though we see that bowlers are putting pressure, he's not looking to play any risky shots.
Hmm.
Uh, it's also that they have to go for a great target. They have to set up a great target. You're 11 overs down, just 61 runs for 4 wicket. So I think now Rijal has to change his mindset, has to go for few runs, but Fibin doesn't allow him. We'll see what he
Yeah,
has to do.
I think it's smart from Rijal. All of the shots he's played is on the ground. He's not, playing any elevated shots. Even there, you
Yeah,
see there was room there. He's hit it into the
that's a
ground.
good shot. Yeah,
He's hit it through point for four. Why do you have to take risks when you can take the bad balls and hit them for boundary? I think that's the right approach. That's the right way to go about your game. And Rijal is
yeah.
showing his class, his experience, not taking any aggressive shots. Utilizing the bad balls and hitting them for four. He's played two very calm quality shots. Got 6 runs of the over so far. I think this is what Rabinsha should be trying to do as well. And again, that's where maybe the
Yeah.
quality difference comes into play. He gets a boundary, takes a single the next ball. You hear this in
Yeah.
T20 competitions a lot. You know, as you get a boundary, the smart thing is to take a single. We don't really see that quite a lot in today's game because of how aggressive the nature is. But here you can see the experience of Rijal walking up to his, a non-strike batsman, strike batsman, and telling Rabinsha, listen, we've gotten the runs in the over. There's three balls, three singles now, and you're looking at a really good over. There's no reason to take any more risks. And I
Yeah.
think this is where Rabinsha should probably take advice from Rijal and maybe try to rotate strike. He's probably done the exact opposite. He's skied it. It's really high in the air. It's going to be a difficult catch for whoever is in the boundary. And I think it's a drop catch and ends up going for a four.
Oh,
So
yeah.
another lucky escape for Robin Shah. We've seen him get lucky a couple of times so far in his innings already. But you might maybe say that that's what you need at this point, a little bit of luck to go your way, especially after those runouts earlier on in the game. Not the smart choice of shot selection, but ends up getting rewarded with a boundary then. So really good over. Febin being very expensive after two economical overs in the first overs that he bowled. So another expansive shot. I think just a single this time. A little bit of juggling between the two fielders there, but I think they don't run in the end because of that confusion. Both the
Yeah.
fielders and the batsmen confused as to what to do with that situation. So one ball left in the over. I think 11 runs coming off it already. Do you think there's a big shot on the cards now, Kritesh?
I think definitely Rabin Shah is the man. I think if in, yeah, there we go. Oh,
That's
is
a
it a wicket?
stupid shot. I mean,
That's a
Pyro
bad
said
shot.
big shots incoming. I don't think
Incoming for
that's what he
sure.
meant. That was a
Yeah.
big shot. I think it's just very reckless batting. He scored 22 of 22. But if you look at that, it didn't look like an innings where it looked like he would get to that stage in the first place. He probably got a lucky a couple of times now. He got lucky in the previous ball with the four as well. Uh, but his luck's run out and he's lost his wicket. So, uh,
So, what I was having in my mind before this wicket was they're learning from the mistakes. What we saw earlier on in the innings was the batters, they did not have good communication between them.
yeah.
Ended up losing silly runouts. So, I was thinking that Rijal and the other batter, they had a good communication. They were planning everything very well. Rijal was anchoring the innings, whereas Rabin Shah was going for shots, and it was the other way around in the previous over. They had everything planned out very well, but unfortunately, it did not work out very well for Rabin Shah, I would say.
Where do you see them in the next three overs, Kritesh? Especially after losing this wicket, Harris has come out to bat, and again, Harris is somebody who's capable of batting. Maybe not as significant of a wicket as the wicket that we
Yeah.
lost.
Mhm.
But do you think Harris Cherkard has the ability to score runs?
I think it's definitely testing their middle order. We
Yeah,
have seen Rabin Shah, he came in, he was not quite confident. With the support of Rijal, he was able to score few runs. So
yeah,
we might be expecting the same. But as we expected them to maintain a consistent run rate coming after 10th over, we
yeah,
saw them score 9 runs, 10 runs in each of those overs.
yeah.
I was expecting them to reach somewhere around 95 or 93 some, but I don't think that there's a possibility now after a wicket. So I think end of 15 overs, the run will be around 88, 89. What do you think,
Yeah, I
Gokul?
agree with you. I think I might have gone a couple of runs low because of how slow, Rijal was playing. I think if they didn't lose that wicket, you might have started seeing a little bit more aggressive shots from Rijal. Now, Harris, again, I just wanted to talk about Harris before we continued.
Yeah.
Again, pretty experienced player, not as much as somebody like Rijal, but he's played 70 games. He has a good number of games under his belt. His highest score, obviously, it was 65 runs. He scored a couple of 50s, in the competition. So you probably would expect. I think 67 was sorry. He's played 41 games. Apologies, but he scored his highest score is 67 runs, 350s, and he does score a good amount of runs in boundaries. He scored about 26 sixes and 44 fours. In his
Oh,
career so far. So as you can see there,
great
Ridgel's
shot from Rijal.
expansive shot,
Yeah.
first aggressive shot really that we've seen from Ridgel so far,
Yeah.
but it's still a very smart shot. It is probably a bit too far outside off stump to be playing that shot, but he gets down, gets to the pitch of the ball, and takes on the bowler and hits it over the infield in cow corner to go for four. So maybe you might think that Rijil's probably gonna take the responsibility all on himself now, similar to
Yeah,
what
yeah,
Shabir
yeah.
did yesterday.
I think definitely. I think because after losing three partners,
Yeah.
you are definitely frustrated and you can't rely on the partners coming now.
Again, I
So
think
I
that's a
think
bit
that is
harsh
what.
on Haris Charakar. I think his stats show that he is a capable bat with those 350s, but it just depends. And he's probably got a lot of time as well now, 7 overs after this, to,
Yeah,
give a significant contribution to his team. So let's just hope that both of them are
Harris.
able
Yeah.
to, give their own contributions to the team. Maybe if he's able to rotate strike, give Rijil strike. Rijil probably is going to try to take on the bowler and score a couple of boundaries every over from now on. So,
Yeah.
Chandrasekhar, if you are watching still, I hope you are, because obviously the player that we were discussing extensively about, Rijil, does look like he's getting into his stride today. You might see a big innings from him, and obviously, if you're a Phoenix Rider supporter, you probably need a big innings from him if they are to get to maybe like a 130 mark. Do you think that is out of their reach now, or do you think it is still on the
Uh,
cards?
I think if these two build up a partnership, I think Rizal should not lose his confidence after losing three partners.
Hmm.
He should still try to expect like building a partnership with Harris, which is what we would like to see because it will be definitely helpful for them to put up a total of like somewhere around 130. We expected them to go somewhere around 188 to 90 end of 15 overs,
Yeah.
which means 130 is definitely possible, scoring for 40 runs in the last 5 overs. We might be expecting even more than that, I would say, if these two stay till end.
Definitely, I agree with you on that, Kritesh. I think the next couple of overs very important for them. Probably don't want to lose a lot of wickets between now and the end of the innings, but definitely in the next couple of overs you don't want to see any wicket loss, but you still want to see maybe 7-8 runs at least to come through in every over. Do you agree with that, Kritesh?
Yeah, but I think with Febin coming in, last over did not work out very well for him. But I think he might try to put pressure for the new batter Harris. He is definitely a well experienced bowler. He's putting on pressure. It did not work out very well for him.
Yeah.
We'll see what
I think
happens.
obviously, regardless of how the game's gone and the way the wicket loss has taken place, to have a less than runnable strike rate, run rate, is basically you're just setting yourself up for failure. Um, I understand why Rijal has had to go very defensive in his game because of the lack of support, almost nonsensical batting from his teammates. Uh, but you still have to argue what is the point of trying to score 120 runs when they're going to chase it down pretty easily because you have seen them bat before in this competition. They do have a really good batting lineup. They have the ability to score the runs, so you almost need to score at least maybe 140 150 from this point. As difficult
Yeah.
as that looks like it's going to be, you need to at least get to that 140 to make it at least you know marginally difficult to give your
Defendable
yeah
score for them. Yeah.
to give your bowlers a chance at defending the game. Again, Rijal is very important for that. I was just looking at the way the game's gone so far, and I'm thinking maybe the stats that we have, the percentage, the win probability that we have for freedom fighters is accurate. Do you think, Kritesh? 85% likelihood from this point onwards for freedom fighters to win the game.
I think it is definitely they are putting very great pressure on them. Even though Rijal is well set, he has faced 25 balls. It looks very difficult for them to score runs. So I think 85 percentage for freedom fighters. I would agree on that. Until and unless these two build up a partnership.
Again, good bowling from Febin, very
Fabin,
consistent,
yeah.
making Rijal almost take that risk. You know, he's pretty uncomfortable. You can see he's resetting himself almost after every ball. Taking a small walk, going back to his guard again, and maybe just having a look at maybe you know playing a smarter shot. Again, probably not the best running. I don't think there was a run there, but Rijal wanted to get on strike for the next over. Again, another incredibly economical over from Febin, just 1 run. So even though he had an expensive over in his previous over, the other 3 overs have made up for it. He bowls a excellent, 1 for 18 in his 4 overs, sets his team up really well. There's 6 overs left in the game, and I think it's going to be a very difficult 6 overs for the Phoenix Riders as well. What do you think,
Yeah,
Ritesh?
we can see the run prediction shows 120 from here. If they end up with 120, it might be I would say definitely a cakewalk for Phoenix, I mean, Freedom Fighters question. They should try to prove us wrong, prove the run prediction wrong.
Yeah,
They should reach somewhere around 140, like you said, Gokul.
yeah,
But the bowlers are definitely putting pressure, and there is no part-time bowler in Freedom Fighters Cochin. Everybody is well experienced.
yeah.
Nobody is giving loose balls. It is rarely you find loose balls in this innings. What do you think, Gokul? We do not find a lot of loose balls. It
Yeah,
is
I
all
think
very great bowling from Freedom Fighters
from a
Cochin.
16-year-old, I think you could argue there was a couple of balls in each of his overs where it was a bit, you know, too far outside of stump. But again, you'd expect that, as an incredible shot from Harris, he picked that up really early, but probably didn't get the connection that he wanted. He hit it really high. It was probably more higher than he would have wanted it to go. Ended up not going that far anyway. It was just a single, but maybe that's like a show of intent. Pyro asks, I think it's a question for you, Kritish, because you were talking about the bowling. Is an
Yeah.
all-out possible? Do you think there's an all-out that could be possible in this
Uh,
innings?
I think the possibility for all out comes with Ridgel's wicket. If they lose Ridgel's wicket, there is nobody to guide other batsmen. I think he is the one doing most like a captain's job there, helping guide the partner and take like building a partnership. So if they lose Ridgel's wicket, then all out is definitely possible. It's a good chance for all out, but with Ridgel still out there, and also you have mentioned that Harish is a well experienced batter. I don't think with these two all out is possible.
Yeah, I guess I think it just depends on how many more balls these two face. They played really slow. The partnerships, it hasn't really gone anywhere. Not a lot of runs coming through. 9 or 14, as you can see on the stream, if you guys are watching along with us on cricketlaunch.tv. Um, but what I'm really excited to see from the freedom fighters so far, again,
Ooh, that's a
another
great
incredible
ball
ball
from
from
Atish.
Adarsh. Um, only five extras so far in this inning. So that's something that you don't really see at this level. In the last couple of games that we covered, over the last couple of days, I think you saw there was about 16, um, maybe 15 to 16 extras across both innings yesterday and then the game before as well. So I'm really happy to see that the bowling performance today from the Freedom Fighters has been very professional, very consistent line and length. Uh, Not giving any extra runs away. That's something that you need to catch up to if you're other teams as well.
Yeah.
A really short ball there, but probably not the best connection. Ends
Mhm.
up just being a single from Harris. So he has struggled to find his timing as well, and probably you're looking at Ridgel now, 23 of 28. Too slow.
Uh,
The
Yeah,
innings
definitely too
is
slow.
too
I
slow.
think now he has to change his mindset and go for runs. It's just five more overs, and you're nowhere near what you should be expecting from setting a target perspective. So yeah, I think he should definitely change his mindset and go for a few boundaries now.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, he has to go for it now. There is no point of looking for ones and twos and
With
getting
these,
getting to 120 score. You have to go
yeah,
for it now.
with these two wasting every ball, we can see the win prediction is going towards Freedom Fighters question. It is favoring them a lot.
Yeah,
And we can also see that the expected score is also coming drastically down. You don't expect to see that they should, but they've still got wickets in hand. They've got five wickets, even though it might be testing their tail enders if they lose the wickets. But still, these two, they might have to go for it. There is no time wasting
yeah.
now.
We have a new bowler coming in, Sijo. Probably not the best bowler in the team statistically, but probably his right arm slow. Um, you never know. We saw that yesterday with Sheikh. He
Mhm.
wasn't really bowling the best line, but him just taking the pace off the ball, almost forcing the batsman to time the ball properly,
Mhm.
to create their own momentum. Ended up getting him a lot of wickets and ended up being very economical. So the right arm slow from Sijo, not the best ball to start, but probably not the worst outcome in the end. If you're Sijo, you made Harris take the risk. You made him play that
Mhm.
risky shot, and there was a fielder. There's a good field placement as well. Anon says it won't be an all out, so maybe Anon is very confident in the way
Confident that these
Phoenix
two are
go
building the
about.
partnership. Yeah.
Exactly. So it might again just be what Anon said. It might not be an all-out, but it doesn't really help if you can't really get to that 130, 140 score at least from now. Um, Really poor ball there. Again, we said that
Yeah.
yes, earlier with Chandrasekhar, you can't be
Hmm.
bowling there to Rijal, no matter how defensively he's playing. You don't have a fielder deep square leg, a backward deep square leg. You bowl there, he's going to take you on and he's going to get runs in this ground. I'm surprised that it's not gone all the way. Two bounces and a four. Sijo has to be very careful, especially with the angle that he generates bowling right arm around.
Oh, that's a drop catch. That should have been a wicket there for Rijal. Should have been
Yes.
very crucial. I don't think I'm not quite sure what is the mindset of the fielding team because they have got one over to spare for Nishal and they've got one over to spare for Adish. So they could have used these two, put a lot of pressure before going to the death over.
Yeah, I think
And
the
that
smarter thing is probably to take a wicket. Go for a wicket now than like to bowl somebody like him, who's going to leak runs. Top edge again goes to that region of the ground which is very rough outfield, a lot of overgrown grass there, preventing it from going for a four. But Harris looks very uncomfortable at this point. I don't think he's middled a single ball. He still tried to
yeah,
play expansive shots and ended up getting a couple of runs through that top edge. Good over so far for the Phoenix Riders. 8 runs coming off it, 2 balls still to go. Expansive shot again, but there is a fielder there. He doesn't really
fielder
connect
there.
it well. Probably the better outcome for him, not connecting it well in the end, getting another single. So 9 runs of the over so far, and you might hope. I think they ran two in the end there as well. So
It's a good running, yeah.
you might hope that Harris goes for another shot. It's almost like a free hit ball for him now. He needs to get runs because Rijal
That's
wants
a
to be on
great
strike
shot,
anyway.
yeah. That's a six. That's definitely going to release some pressure off Harris.
Yeah, so probably like we said earlier in the over as well, as soon as we saw Studio coming in, to bring a part-time bowler now, very risky. You're almost giving the batsman an outlet to score runs, and it's probably not going to be the best outcome when you look at it at the end of the innings. Good connection. That was probably the best connection he's had so far in his innings, and suddenly from like a point of struggling where he was what 5 of 9, 5 of 8. He's ended up getting 10 runs of those last 3 balls and ends up at 15 of 11. So that's going to
It's
give him a lot of confidence now.
I think it's Adarsh coming in for his last over. I think after Adarsh goes, they could
Nichel.
use Izan and Nishal.
Yeah, I think
That'll
Mitchell is
be
definitely the smarter
yeah,
option to bring in now. Maybe just to get a little bit more control into this innings again. Last thing you want to do is basically leak runs. I think Ridgel's gonna go for it now. He's seen that Harris is gonna be able to score runs. As you can see, tries to sweep the ball, doesn't really connect it. Again, if you guys are watching the stream live on YouTube, please feel free to click the link in the chat box. It's the pinned comment. And it'll be taking you directly to the
ooh, that's an
cricketlaunch.tv
inside edge.
website,
He saved it.
and you'll be able to watch the game live with us. It looks like there could be a change of intent in this last 4 overs, and you might be able to watch a lot of quick runs coming into play. We saw this yesterday in that first innings, didn't we, Kritish? They were struggling in that middle
Yeah,
period, and last 2 overs they ended up getting a lot of runs, including 5 penalty runs because of the ball hitting the helmet.
helmet.
Harris goes for it again, big
Oh,
heave,
that's a very bad fielding from
bottom
the
edge,
fielder.
and fielder slips in the outfield. We haven't really seen that a lot. Obviously, Kuwait, not a lot of dew on the ground, obviously, and there's no reason for the outfield to be wet. Good weather conditions as well, but the fielder slips in the boundary, ends up going through his legs, um, ends up being covered by
But
the
yeah,
fielder who
but
came in
luckily there
behind.
was a fielder who came in and saved it.
Definitely. I think just to talk about what Pyro mentioned earlier as well, we do cover all of the Kuwaiti Falcons Championship games across the two divisions, the gold and silver division. So please feel free to have a look at the cricketlaunch.tv website. You can save the link in your browser as well, and then you'll be able to watch all of the games live on cricketlaunch.tv. Um, yeah, so again, we continue the action with 2 balls to go. Phoenix Riders get to their 100. It has taken them 100 balls, so going off a run A
Ooh,
ball.
he saved it. Richard saved it with his foot.
Yeah,
That's
I think he's basically prevented the ball from going
Yes.
anywhere else, which again you probably wouldn't mind if you're Nigel. He's a very leg side heavy player so far by the looks of it. Whenever he's tried to play an aggressive, expansive shot, he's tried to play leg side. As I
Like
say
said.
that, he plays a shot on the offside and basically gets a couple of runs as well. Not the best over, but again, six of the over. Maybe just enough to keep them at 125. Yes, it's basically around the ball. Basically at this point, you're looking at maybe 125, 130 if they're able to score
Yeah.
with a little bit more intent. Still maybe
I
another
think it
30
is
runs
just
short.
that Richard has a good intent, and if he times the ball very well, and if it works out, then 130 could be possible from here, I would say. Even Harris is showing the intent with both the batters deciding on going for boundaries, then 130 could definitely be possible.
Yes, I definitely agree with you on that, Kritesh. I think they have to at least look at 130 from now, or else it'll be a very easy chase. We can imagine for uh, this freedom fighters team. Obviously, like you said earlier on as well, really good bats in that playing 11. Uh, what
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to see is it being a one-sided game throughout that second innings as well. Izan coming in to bowl his third over. He's bowled really well so far, bar a couple of looseness. Good start.
Uh,
It makes Harris reach for it.
High up in the air,
I don't
no
think
man's
it's gonna.
land.
Yeah, there's no fielder there. The wicketkeeper ends up running all the way to fetch the ball. Ends up being just the 2 runs. Harris probably just wants to swing his bat at everything at this point. And do you agree with that? Do you think he should just not worry about his wicket, maybe play a little bit more aggressive, but try to get
Yeah,
something out of every ball from this point?
definitely I agree with that because if he was playing this few overs back, I would have disagreed. But at this point, he should definitely try to swing his bat somehow, connect it, and score runs for them. He swings it and ends edging it, but anyway,
I think
giving
we've got a
oh, that's
question.
going for a quick,
We've got a
quick two
question
runs.
from Anne on the Kritesh. Would you like to answer that question?
And how many runs next over? I think with these two win, I definitely think it is going to be 8 or 9 runs. Definitely more than 8 runs, I would say.
Yeah, I think they have to be targeting at least that 8.5, 9 runs
Yeah.
mark because realistically, if you look at it, they still have 5 wickets left, and the threat of an all-out is probably not there. They've done enough to, make sure that they'll at least bat those 20 overs. It's a good shot there. Gets to the reach of the ball. Fielder does enough. I think that Sijo in the boundary does enough to make sure it's just a single. But you got to think from the perspective of Rijal maybe now. 31 of 35. He's got 2.5 overs left. He
I
has to
think if
go for
they
it on 15
uh,
balls. And in the next over, he's probably going to have to score a bulk of those runs in the next over. I think it's going to be Mitchell who comes to bowl that next over. You probably expect him to go maybe, 8, 9 runs at least as a minimum. He probably wants to go for more than that, but I think considering Harris probably faces a couple of those balls as well, you think he's going to struggle to score anything more than maybe 12 runs. So I think 8.5, 9 runs is probably the
oh, that's
way.
a good shot. He dropped it. But I think, as you mentioned in the
Yeah.
last 3 overs, if they were to go for runs, I think they should target Izan more than they target Nishal because he is performing really well. Nishal, it might be very difficult for them to score runs against Nishal, so they should be targeting Izan for this over and most probably the last over.
Definitely.
Oh, he has proved us wrong. That's straight to the wicket. He's gone. Harris gone.
He tried creating some room on the
He,
leg side, of walking almost all the way across his stumps, showing all the 3 stumps on the leg side. And Isan's basically just thought, well, I'm just going to bowl straight. And if Harris misses, I'm going to hit. And that's exactly what's happened there. Harris tried to
yeah.
flick the ball
I
over
think
Finder.
Harris tried the same shot previously with Izan. He tried to show that he might not be bowling the same way
Yeah.
if he move leg side, if he move offside.
So I think that's again probably something that we expected is going to happen. We did say last over as well that Harris is probably just going to go for everything and more likely to get out, even though Rijal also probably shares the same mindset. I think that's the quality difference between the batsmen, don't you think, Ritesh?
Yeah, definitely. Uh, you get a chance once, you utilize it. You can't be expecting it again. If you do that, the bowler, he is also expecting for you to go for it again, and he will utilize it his way. That's what Izan showed us now.
Yeah, and we got Prabosh, the new batsman, in. Obviously, what do you think the the logic is in this ball? Do you think he's just going to go after it last ball of the over?
Yeah, I think whatever ball he faces, Prabosh,
Yeah,
it's going to be a free hit for him with four more wickets in hand.
yeah,
They should definitely go for it, or else it's going to be
yeah, and I think
cakewalk
that's a
for
good outcome there as well. They ended
freedom
up getting
fighters.
2 runs, so a couple of runs
Yeah.
coming in the ball, obviously, and they end up getting 8 runs of the over. Again, this is something that we spoke about earlier in this over as well. They need at least 8 9 runs on over now, at least to
Yeah.
get to like 125 130 score. um,
I
Prabhas
think
does well enough, gets the two
yeah.
runs, gets Rijal on strike, don't you think?
Yeah, bringing Rizal on strike is definitely a good thing to do now. Rizal, I think all the experience he had and all the guidance he's given to other batters so far, uh, he should use it now and show them that he is he is like a captain to them. He can score runs. That's what we expect from him, but it is not working out quite well for him. He has scored only 32 runs of 36 balls.
Yeah,
We expect him to go for more runs.
yeah,
It's
I agree with you on that. I
it's
think
going to be against Nishal. It's going to be definitely difficult, but if he uses it very well, then we
I
were
think
talking
I
about
think the good thing
130.
for
That is
Rijal
possible.
is it doesn't matter who bowls now. It could be Mitchell, it could be anybody else. He's just going to play with one intent, which is to swing as hard as he can and try to get runs. Slow ball to start, like a off cutter to start the first ball of this over, ends up just getting placed within the 30-yard circle for a single. I think, again, like you said in the previous over, Pramod is basically just going to go after everybody, regardless of who the bowler is, where the ball is going to be bowled. So I think it's going to be an interesting matchup between these two. Let's have a look to see if there's any potential outcomes. Where do you think they're going to finish the innings, Kritesh?
Ooh, I think they should be looking for somewhere around 130 still. I'm very confident that they might reach 130 with Rizal still being out there.
I just think even with Rijal being out there, is it too much almost to ask of Rijal, to get them to that 130 score? Again, like Pramod looks like he's got enough quality to at least rotate strike, which is again something that you would need if you're a Phoenix fan, if you are Chandrasekhar who was supporting the Phoenix earlier in the game. Let's have a look to see what Rijal is
Oh,
able to do.
that's what we expect from Rizal. But unfortunately, the way he plays, they've set up fielder to the uh, deep point for him. It is
Yeah,
very
I
difficult for
also
him.
think that the ball ended up hitting too high on the bat, almost hit the sticker, so he didn't really get any good connection there. Um, you probably want to make sure that you're being a little bit more creative with your shots, trying to find the gaps in the boundary now. I know obviously
Yeah,
the freedom fighters happy to spread their field, happy to get the ones and twos. What they don't want is the boundary. So I think it's a bit
yeah.
too much to expect. But if you're going to play the ball, maybe play soft and try to get two, try to bring
Oh,
some of the fielders
that's
in.
a silly run. Save the wicket somehow. I don't know what Pramod was thinking there. He was trying to go for a second run, risking Rizal's wicket at
Yeah.
this point.
I think the
That's not what
logic
you
is
see.
just try to make as many runs as
As many
possible.
runs as possible. Yeah,
But I think Rijal knows that the next two balls on this over, it should be him who faces anybody else, and you'd expect them to go back for that second run, even if it was a suicidal run. He's probably going to come
yeah,
back again for a two now, I think, or maybe he's changed his mind. Maybe given that
yeah.
last ball basically for
A
Pramod
free
to just
hit
have
to
a
Pramod.
wild swing.
Yeah, definitely I agree to that. I think with Izan bowling the last over against Rijal,
Hmm.
he should be trying to score as many runs as possible.
Yeah,
Wicket incoming. Pyro Legion comes back. He says wicket incoming. I think with the mindset of batters trying to swing, going for boundaries, definitely there is a chance for wicket in the last over. And also they're trying to go for some suicidal runs. So definitely
yeah,
run
I
out
think
chances are very
runs were
high.
very likely at this point. Obviously, considering that Rijal is still there, obviously Cort is still very likely. But I think other than Cort, if you're asking me what's the next, wait for somebody to get out, I'd probably say run out. We also have to consider, the amount of poor running in this innings and the way they've gotten, a run out in the beginning of the innings as well. You'd say run out is definitely the most likely, outcome for a wicket in this last over. Pramod's, on strike against Izan, it's probably not the matchup you want. You want Rijal, to be on strike. So Pramod has to just go for it. If he gets a single, he gets a single. If he gets a boundary, he gets a boundary. But what he can't afford is to miss the ball completely and for there to be dot ball. So I think every ball now they should realistically just run for it. The
Yeah.
wicket keeper looks very interested. Almost hits his non-striker there, Pramod, and they run the first one very hard. It might, yeah, they have run the second one hard as well. But direct hit from the field, a good throw from the deep, long on. But
That's definitely a
I
great throw.
think
This is what we saw most of the throws yesterday. A
yeah.
lot of direct hits. That's
Very,
what you should be
I've been very
expecting.
happy with the ground fielding so far in the competition. So maybe the catch is a little bit more difficult with it being, a night game. But again, no excuses at this level for dropping catches. But the ground fielding across, the last 2 3 games has been excellent in the league. So I'm really happy to see that as well. Pramod getting back on strike. I think another wild swing is incoming.
I think
Uh,
that's found its way to the boundary. I think
that's a
definitely a six. That's a
massive
huge
six. Yeah,
six.
it's a
Yeah,
massive
that's a
six.
huge
I
six.
was just about to ask why wouldn't he leave it because it was definite wide if he did, but at the same time, I think he wants to prove Pyro Legion wrong. He's connected that really well, and I think that's the biggest six of the day. Much
Definitely.
needed boundary as well, and maybe that's something that the Phoenix can consider for their next couple of games. Maybe sending Pramod, a little bit higher up the batting order. He's come in,
Yeah.
he's looked very confident. He's played a couple of, really good shots, and especially that one being a, massive shot, much needed. And the 16-year-old Izan under pressure, probably not the smartest thing to give your 16-year-old the most important over of the game. All of a sudden, it looks like they might actually end up getting to that 130, 135 score,
130.
Kritesh.
Yeah, definitely. I think 130 is possible now. Like you mentioned, Pramod is the kind of batter who you expect to come high up in the order. I think he should be the batter who plays power play. Uh, you can risk his wicket for power play. If he does it, it is going to be 50-50 chance whether they get to have a highest scoring power play or not. So I think he should be the one who's facing power play for them in the next game. That will definitely work out very well for them, I think.
Yeah, he has, unsettled his run a little bit with that movement that he does pre run up, and I think he's played it really well. Another 2 runs, Sijo, sweeping it up in the outfield on the leg side. But
Oh, Pyro Legion is very confident that wicket will fall with
I think he
three
knows
more
something
balls.
that we don't, and I think that message might have come before this ball was made. So
Oh, that's very high up in the air. Did they make it? I think that's a drop catch. Or did they catch it? I think they've dropped it there.
yeah, there's a
Oh,
drop
very
in the end, and they've run,
unfortunate,
they've ran
Pyro.
two. So Pyro has been, disappointed by that fielding effort. Again, we just spoke about it a couple of balls ago, how bad the catching has been across the team today. I think that's the fourth drop catch of the day. More than
Yeah.
the wickets, obviously the runs leaking in the end is, detrimental for them at this stage. It might be another two. I think they're going to run like hell for everything. The throws towards the batsman and he's given up. I think too many twos in the over. I think he's gotten too tired. He's run the first
Yeah.
one hard, but he doesn't have enough in the tank to get back.
I
So
think,
Pramod goes for, I think it was 18 of the 9 balls that he's faced. I think in the
yeah.
end, Pyro Legion has proved himself and he's gotten the right outcome as well. So we did discuss about runouts
We're
earlier.
thinking from Pyro Legion. Yeah, we were definitely discussing about runouts. Uh, we were talking that there is a high chance for runout because of them going for a lot of doubles. Yeah, and I think we might be spot on with the target Gokul. They might end up scoring 130, just 130.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think there might be a boundary to prove us wrong, or do you think it might be a single or double to
Never know.
end up
I
with
think it's
130?
I think it's very likely that it's going to be a wicket next ball, Kritish, considering that the
There's a
batsman
new
coming in is
batter.
a new
Yeah,
batter under a lot of pressure. I think he's going to struggle. Obviously, if I think they should have just stopped at the single there. Considering that he was tired, he should have just told Rijal that listen, I can't make that second run. Now you're almost giving away the last 2 balls. We have a really tall batsman, just the new batsman in, very big levers. He has a very big back lift by the look of it.
I think he might show that he is capable of scoring the highest
Big
six,
swing
big
and the
six.
top edge went
Oh my.
the opposite direction of where we expected it to go. Not the smartest fielding choices. That they run three, I think it could be another run out. Ends up just being the three, I
uh,
think.
Three
Um,
runs.
was it three or was it
I think it is
it was
three
sending
runs.
him back?
I think it's definitely 3 runs.
It is 3 runs to end the innings, so could have been a wicket, it could have been a boundary. In the end, it is a three. So I don't think
So it is
anybody expected that.
133
Nobody
runs.
predicted it. 132. So we did initially say maybe they could target maybe 130, 135 around that 10th to 12th over part. Obviously, you can see on the scoreboard if you guys are watching the stream on cricketlaunch.tv that massive collapse in the top order. Obviously, Salia, getting out for a duck without facing a ball. And then a couple of other batsmen obviously getting run out as well in the innings. Not ideal, but overall, it's a great bowling performance from the freedom fighters. Mitchell very consistent with his line and length, rewarded. You know, um, he was very economical but not rewarded with the wicket, unfortunately for him. 12 dots in the 4 overs that he bowled. So impressive bowling from Mitchell. I think he's probably the best bowler in the team. Do you think? Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get a wicket, but he maybe put enough
Yeah.
pressure on the rest of the batsmen that they had to take on the other bowlers and ended up losing their wickets. So Izan, 16-year-old, got his wicket, but very expensive, especially because that last over going for almost 40 runs. Febin, again complemented Mitchell really well, bowled a lot of variations in his 4 overs, only giving away 18 runs and getting a wicket as well. In the end of the day, you have to commend Rijal for his patience, but
Yeah.
probably not enough. Going scoring only 35 runs of 39 balls. Good cameo from Harris in the end, 23 of 17, and Rabinsha tried. Adding some assistance by scoring 22 of 23, but you expect more from Jason, the opener, only scoring 20 of 24, so not even run a ball, but also getting two of his, top order batsmen run out. Very poor day in the office for Jason. Maybe he can come back, provide something with the ball, provide some, moment of magic in the field, hopefully, and obviously they'll need it if they want to make something of this game, don't you think, Ritesh?
Yeah, like you mentioned, initially he was very economical, gave only 15 runs in the 4 overs he bowled, but very unfortunate that he was unable to take wickets. But I I would definitely say all the wickets that were taken, he has a contribution toward putting more pressure on the batsman.
Yeah.
That's what we saw in the early on during power play. He builds up the pressure, and with Rahmat, he took the wickets of the batters early on. So definitely, Nishal had a major role controlling them, scoring just 132 for 7 wickets. And I think Rachel Venugopal, he he had a great innings. He played very well. He stayed positive, but that is not you expect when your team is not scoring what you expect to score. So we might be expecting him to score a lot of runs in the upcoming games. Like you mentioned, Jason George, he took time. He got set, but when he got set, he lost his wicket. It was bad timing shot. So we
Yeah.
expect Jason and Rachel Venugopal to come up, have a great innings in the upcoming games.
Yeah, there's a
So
comment
let's,
there. I'm very surprised to hear that from Anon. It says one-sided game today by the looks of it. Um, I wouldn't be so sure, only because of for example, what we saw yesterday. Cricket is a very funny game. A lot of things can happen very quickly. Yesterday we saw Kashmir 11 very weak, not able to win a single game so far in the competition. Go against a really solid Afghan Tigers team, and almost all of the game it looked like the Afghan Tigers were going to win that game. But in the end, one player, Shabir, came and changed the innings almost on his own, and in the end, they ended up edging the game towards the last couple of overs, and I think they won with like 3 or 4 balls left to spare as well. So, if you look at the games that have been played in this tournament so far, regardless of how the game's gone in that first innings, I wouldn't judge the game that easily. I think anything can happen very quickly.
yeah. And thank you so much, guys, for asking a lot of questions and having discussions with us throughout the first innings. And let's wait to see what Freedom Fighters have got. And with two great batsmen, Sasikumar Pandyan and Hasim Mohammed, coming in to show us who is the best amongst them, I would say. They have scored, one has scored 59 in a game, and the other has scored 60 in a game. So let's see who ends up being high scorer today. So stay with us. We'll be back in a couple of minutes just before the second inning starts.
Yeah, definitely. We'll just go for a quick break and we'll join you guys for your opinions as well very soon. So take your break as well, and we hope to catch you soon.
चेस हो गई कि नहीं? Fucker comes now only second innings is starting. ये बोले बोले बोले.
Hey guys, if you're joining us now, you can obviously click on the link in the chat box and join the stream on cricketlaunch.tv to watch along with us for free. Sudhir Vlogs asks, chase hoga ki nahi? Basically meaning, will they chase the score? Yeah, I think unfortunately, I don't think they'll be able to defend the score because of being a very low score, probably one of the lower scores in the competition. But there is obviously a chance. Yesterday we saw really good bowling from the Afghan Tigers in the power play, restricting the team to, I think it was about 33 runs. So you're looking at like an important first period. That's not going to help. Obviously, wavered wide to begin the second innings. That's probably the last thing you want to see if you are you know in the bowling team. So I think it's going to be a bit difficult for them to defend it, but we have seen crazier things happen in this league. Obviously for the
Yeah.
Phoenix, it is the first game of the competition, first chance to test their bowling lineup out. Harris, probably being one of their better bowlers as well, bowls with a lot of pace and a lot of intent. um, so Sakil Khan asks, chase or nahi by. I
Uh,
think it
I
is going to
think
be chase. I think the batting
yeah.
team are the favorites now. You can see the win percentage that we have on our stream. Freedom Fighters have an 80% win probability, which basically means that everybody is expecting them to chase this score
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
The fielding obviously needs to be better as well. Misfield in the second ball. Probably they could have ran for both the first and second ball. So something maybe Sasi needs to look at. But again, we spoke about this Freedom Fighter team. Excellent batting lineup. A lot of quality there, a lot of experience there, and also you know the ability to score big. You spoke about them in
Yeah.
the first innings and how a couple of their players have the ability to score big and how they have scored big already in this competition. So that'll probably give them a lot of confidence. And I'll give you, Kritish, the chance to speak more in detail about these players.
Yeah. Sudhir is quite confident that he defend Hoga. He thinks that they could easily freedom fight. I mean, sorry. Uh, yeah, Phoenix might be able to defend 132. I think that is not what we expect. Basically, freedom fighters have got a great batting lineup, as you mentioned. Sasi Kumar is great, and there is another player as well. They've got a very strong middle order. We have seen that
Yeah,
Phoenix Riders, they have had a great middle order. We expected freedom. So when we see that Phoenix players, they don't have any experience in this tournament, coming out having the first game. So if they are able to do it, freedom fighters, they have played two games so far, having won one game. It might be. I
expansive
think that
shot
puts.
early on outside of stump ball ends up just getting out of the reach of the two chasing fielders. They end up getting two. So again, this is something that we see a lot with the opening batsmen in this competition. They like to play very aggressively. They like to take on a lot of the bowlers early on and basically get that pressure into the bowling lineup. But again, Harris bowls with a lot of pace, probably one of the faster bowlers in the competition. In this ground, because of how small it is, even top edge could go for six. The straight boundaries are slightly longer than the square ones, but again, you see extras coming in, you see drop catches. That's something that this Phoenix team cannot afford. They cannot afford to drop catches. They cannot afford to make misfields or give extras. Another thing that we spoke about in that first innings, Freedom Fighters, excellent quality when it came to their bowling setup. They didn't give away a lot of runs through extras. I think it was only 7 or 8 runs that they ended up giving in extras, and they've already given 2 runs in this inning so far. Not ideal. Without those extras, this would have been a really good over. But now they still have a ball to go, and if they get a boundary, all of a sudden, Freedom Fighters have gotten onto a excellent start. So I think as long as they continue this way without giving any of their wickets away in the power play, I would definitely back Freedom Fighters to win this game quite comfortably as well. In the end, as you can see, the score predictor is moving towards their favor as well, slowly but surely.
Yeah. Uh, What do you think will be the power play score? I'm expecting them to score with Sasi Kumar, and clearly their bowling is not very great. Harris has given two extras, but he has controlled them by not letting any boundaries so far in the first over. So I think the power play score might be somewhere around 46 or 47. What
Yeah,
do you think,
I
Gokul?
agree with you on that. I think that you're looking at maybe 9 runs and over now, with these two in, and maybe a couple of extras as well coming in. I think that's probably where they would want to show their intent in scoring as well. So I think it's very likely that you see. Them scoring roughly around 9 runs and over now, till the end of the power play. Harris is coming in. We spoke about Harris, earlier on in the game. Quality player, wasn't able to contribute as much as he wanted with the bat. He did score a few runs, valuable runs for him, for the team. I think it was about 22 runs that he scored. Now it's his chance to come and show why he's a quality all-rounder in this team, and basically back his team with some quality bowling, maybe get a couple of wickets as well. So if you guys are watching on the stream, you can watch this game live by clicking on the link in the chat that's pinned. I'll put that link again. It is the link to cricketlaunch.tv, and you'll be able to watch this game as well as, if all of the other Kuwaiti Falcons Champions game live on our page. Again, that is cricketlounge.tv. Please make sure you remember to save the link in your browser so you can join in and watch future games as well. Anon says chase is easy. Again, that's what it looks like it is going to be at this point. I think it is just Jacob that is bowling. Apologies, it wasn't Harris who was bowling.
Harris,
He
yeah.
hasn't really gotten off to the best start. There is a fielder in that second, third slip position. So they're expecting maybe a catch coming in, a little bit of inward shape, in swing shape for just Jacob with that second ball, but ends up getting a leading edge that goes
Uh,
nowhere. So they get a single, and yeah, so not a bad start for just Jacob. With the way he's able to move the ball.
Yeah, it's a good thing that he's able to move the ball accordingly, but we should also consider that what we were talking the previous over, that they can't afford to give away extras. Uh, he has given away extra very first ball. Not quite sure if that might take down his confidence. He has come back and oh, that's a great ball again. So he proves us wrong that he is a better bowler than what we expected. So if this continues, if they don't give away any extras and if they control the bowling, I think Naiju is kind of struggling, whereas Sasikumar is a well-experienced batter and
Yeah.
we expect him to score a lot of runs, but not sure. They're just taking time maybe to get settled before going for
Yeah,
previous shots.
I
And
almost
it is
agree
also
with that
that,
approach.
yeah.
I almost
It is
agree with
also
that
that they're
approach.
not chasing a graded target for them to
Yeah,
take any risky shots.
yeah.
But oh my God, there's a swing and a miss.
It's a
We don't expect
wild
that.
swing there. You just said there's no
Yeah.
need for a risky shot, and he's basically just thrown his bat at it. So that's probably not what you want to see, from Naiju Devasukuti. Obviously, key player in this team. I think he's the wicket keeper as well, if I remember correctly. You probably want him to take a little bit more time, get settled in, not play any rash shots. Like you said, they're not chasing a big score, and you know how important wickets are. In a T20 game, if you're chasing. Anand says no Kuwaitis in the league. Lol. I'm pretty sure most teams in the GCC almost have all of their players who represent them from some other country. You see that in the ECN in Europe as well. A lot of Indian, Pakistani, Sri Lankan, Bangladeshi players, basically people from that subcontinent who move to those countries, play in a lot of those competitions there, and it's very similar in Kuwait. But that basically gives us more opportunity to look at the quality of players that end up going to these places and joining different teams. Another wild swing from Naiju,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
just a
not
dot
what
ball.
we expect at this point. You have to chase you're not chasing a huge total. There
Yeah.
is no pressure on you. So you can take your time, rotate strikes, maybe go for cover drives instead of going for a swing like what he did in the last two balls. So
Again, just to
you can have a
answer,
very calm game. You can enjoy these games.
yeah, again, just to answer what both Sudhir and Sakil Khan were asking as well. A chase is
There we
never
go.
easy, but again, when you don't have a lot of pressure on you, you just need one boundary in an over. You just need one release shot. And as I was saying that, we saw the huge six in the end from Naiju. You bowl short, even if it's just one bad ball, these kind of players can take advantage of that and get that boundary, and all of a sudden an over it went from 1 or 2 runs off it because of the wide to almost what 8 runs. So that pressure that you built up in those first 5 balls ends up going with that boundary, and almost as a bowler you almost reset now for that third over. I think it might just be a bowling change coming in. No, it isn't. It is Harris. I think is it Harris. I'm not quite sure who is
It
coming
is
to bowl
def
now.
it is Harris now. It is Harris. Let's see what Harris has
Yeah, it is
got.
Harris coming back in. Now all of the pressure's back on Harris. You're almost thinking, the first over you bowled pretty economically. You leave under 7 runs, but that's all they need. That's all freedom fighters they need. They don't need 10 runs on over. They're going to be more than happy to get maybe 8 9 runs in the power play in each over. As long as they don't lose any wickets in the power play, they're going to be very happy to come out of that power play. They're going to think that they've won the power play basically. I think Sasi is probably just going to try to rotate
Wow,
strike.
that's very huge. That's huge, very high up in the air. It might be difficult. Oh, there's a dropped catch. We are seeing this quite often. I think this is what most of the teams need to work on, having like a not missing catches.
Definitely, I think.
I'm
I
not. I'm
think.
not what he has in his mind. He's just swinging all the balls, even though there is no need for him to do it. He's risking his wicket for no reason. And if you're playing against Harris, he is a great experienced bowler. He has played 53 games, and it is very interesting that he has taken 51 wickets of the 53 games he has played so
Yeah,
far. So you don't want to take a risk against
and
such experienced
as you can
bowler.
see, if you don't take your catches, you get punished, and he gets punished immediately. He
Yeah.
bowled really well that ball basically to invite the shot. He had a lot of pace in it, ends up getting skied. It should have been taken. Poor fielding effort. Next ball goes for a four. So this is the kind of thing you have to remember as a fielding unit. If you drop a catch, it's just going to put more pressure on the bowler. Bowler's going to try to do something else that they're not supposed to be doing, and ends up going for a four. And all of a sudden, a wicket ends up being 5 runs and no wicket. So it just makes it so much more difficult as a bowling team, as a bowling unit, when your fielders don't support you. And all of a sudden, Harris is rattled. He's not concentrating anymore. Anon says sitter dropped. Absolutely, that's the only way to go about it. That was a complete sitter, and it was he should have taken it. And the next ball goes for a four, and the ball after goes for a wide. And all of a sudden, it looks like the batsmen are comfortable now. 21 of the 14 balls without losing any wickets. Another
That's
wayward
another
ball.
wide.
He's getting a lot of movement, but it's not enough when you have no control over that movement, and in the end it's another wide ball. So it looks
Wide.
like it could be another expensive over for the bowling team, and it looks like the chase, like we mentioned earlier, looks more and more likely with every passing ball.
Oh, there we go. That's another swing. That's a wicket. He's worked it out very well. That This is what we were talking about. There is no need for you to swing. He kept on doing it. There we go. That's what's the cost for having a lot of swing when there is no need to.
But again, would you
And Harris
mind
has
that you
proved that.
almost expected a wicket to come, and Nigel scored 13 of 9. He's given them a decent out, and he's given them a decent enough start. You're probably still the Sasi, the main batsman, is still there. It was a
Yeah.
very feather edge. I think he kept bowling that line, inviting the shot, and ended up bowling two wides. But he's come back and gotten the wicket. Sasi not really happy with his teammate losing his wicket. After a pretty decent start, they already got out of the 2 balls that he had faced so far, they already got 7 runs. So there was no need for another aggressive shot. A little bit of banter between just Jose and the new batsman coming in, maybe trying to get under his skin. Do you think, Ritesh? Maybe a little bit of sledging going on between just Jose and Ismail.
Yeah, I think there is mind games going on because there is no other way for them to put pressure on batsmen. They have taken a wicket. They should use it very well accordingly. Put more pressure on the batsmen. Try to control and take wickets. I think controlling run is not going to be very helpful at this. stage because they're not chasing a lot of runs. It's just 110 runs around where they need. So mind games definitely come into play here. And to mention that one of their top bats, Hasim Mohammed, is not in the squad. Very unfortunate. I expected him to come and have a greater innings, but he's not in the squad, unfortunately. So we might be seeing Sasi getting on to the top scorer for their team today.
Yeah, I think a lot of pressure on Sasi now because obviously the last thing you want to do is do what the Phoenix did, losing a lot of wickets in quick succession. Another wide ball. So Harris is trying to invite that shot, but Ismail happy to let that go, and
Yeah.
rightfully so. So getting that wide line, quite inaccurate. We've already seen the same amount of extras almost as the first inning.
I
So
think Ismail coming in now, he knows very well what is the trap Harris is putting for Ismail, so he's not falling for it. It's better to let go of those balls instead of inviting them and losing a wicket.
yeah, definitely. Let's go of a ball that was pretty well bowled as well, just on that fifth stump line, uh, with a little bit of shape. Sorry, Ismail is happy to let it go. Obviously, still there's two balls left in the over. They've already got 8 runs, so they probably made enough runs for the over anyway. It now just depends on how they approach the last two balls. You might still want to go for that boundary because of it being the power play. Just getting ahead of run
Ooh.
rate. Cheeky top edge. The wicketkeeper did not move. You maybe expect a little bit more from the keeper. He's standing really close for
I
somebody
think
like Harris.
the way he bowls, he definitely needs a slip on. He's definitely expecting a catch there.
He's
You need
giving a
to
lot of
place it.
shape, like you said, and
Yeah.
then the keeper standing that close to the batsman doesn't really help either. In the
Yeah.
end of the day, you need to play aggressive if you want to win this game. You need to take catches, and even with the wicket so far in this over, they've got 12 runs, Kritesh. You would still think that the batting team have come out on top after this over. Another
Yeah.
set of banter between Sasi and I think it was just
I think
Jose.
it's not sledging. I think they're just good friends. They're having a chat about.
I think it's just a lot of banter. So you can see the
Yeah.
difference between the two teams. The current run rate is, I think, 9.5. That's a massive difference between what we saw in the first innings, especially after those quick wickets started falling. Um, and now, good, smart batting from Ismail, not wanting to take any more risks in that last ball.
Yeah, that's
Um,
definitely good thinking.
27 for one after the 3 overs. And you have to argue again. It almost looks like freedom fighters, even though they've lost that wicket, don't look like they're under any pressure now.
Yeah, definitely. Even though they've lost the wicket, it hasn't taken any confidence out of them. They look very positive. And what we have discussed that we thought that they might be aiming somewhere around 47 runs
Yeah.
during power play. I think still it is possible. They might be even looking for 50 plus runs, I would say,
Yeah.
in a power play.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think at this point, I probably would have somebody like Ismail in for maybe, another 20 runs or so. And I think a lot of those runs are going to come in the power play as well. So I think your estimate of maybe another 20, 25 runs for the rest of the power play seems pretty accurate to me. If you look at the, required run rate, they're comfortably ahead of it. They're scoring at 9 right now. So they probably won't want to go too aggressive, maybe lose another wicket. That's probably something that they want to protect. But at the same time, I think both Sasi and Ismail are capable of, scoring runs. We do see that, third slip, second slip fielder coming in now. Let's see.
Ooh, so it's a good bowling.
Say in swinging bounce, just
Yeah,
Jacob getting a lot of bounce on that wicket, which is not something that we see usually, Kritesh, is it? Because
yeah.
over the last couple of games, I think it's been the opposite. In that
All
second
thing,
innings,
yeah.
we've seen the ball keep low a bit, whereas in this innings so far, I think maybe because of the heat, slightly hotter day today in Kuwait, maybe with a little bit more sunshine, the grounds become a bit harder with a little bit more bounce. So maybe caught very likely. Do you think with both of these batsmen and the amount of bounce that he's
Yeah.
getting?
Bones, I would also say the swing. There's a good chance for caught behind, I would say.
Yeah.
He's they are just Jacko coming in doing in swing, whereas Harris coming in going for out swing with the slip in place. So it is very risky for batters. It is very tricky for them to bat on. They, I think this pressure what is building on, they should not fall for it. They should stay positive. If the ball you think it does not what you judge it to be, you should just let go.
I
Don't
was
go
just
for it. Don't fall for the
I was
trick.
just looking at my notes there, Kritish, just to look at the matchup between these two teams. Obviously, these guys also play against each other and with each other in other competitions as well. And I think that's where
Mhm.
you mentioned that there was a little bit of friendly banter between Sasi and just Jacob. Just Jacob,
Yeah.
obviously being a very experienced player in his own regard. Quite a lot of games under his belt, 86 games. He scored his 150, and from a bowling perspective as well, he's contributed quite a lot to his teams. Um, Overall, I think he is again one of those players that you know if you look, he's bowled seven maidens in T20s,
Ooh.
and it looks like it might be another maiden as well. So maybe you could add another maiden onto his career list of maidens. He bowls
Yeah.
at a very good economy, only like sub eight economy in a T20 is obviously really good for a bowler anyway, and he gets almost a wicket every innings he bowls. So overall, when you look at it, he's the kind of bowler that you want to have in your team. So very, very positive outcome for the Phoenix here, having somebody like just Jacob in the team who's so economical and so experienced at this level. And it looks like it might be another maiden, as you were mentioning, he's
That's a
just one
great.
ball
That's
away.
yeah.
And Sasi almost looks, confused. He's not quite sure where the ball's going to go after it hits the seam. One's moved away, one's moved,
Mhm.
back in. A couple of them have bounced pretty steeply. So you got to be careful if you're Sasi at this point, not to lose a wicket. And just Jacob in his 2 overs, only going for 8 runs so far. You'd be very happy with that if you're
Yeah.
his captain.
The way he's bowling, it is quite difficult for batsmen to judge it. As you said, he has different variations of bowling.
Yeah.
Uh, that is what making it very difficult for batters to face the ball. As you see, that's another great ball from him. That's a maiden over.
So that's his
Uh,
eighth career maiden in Kuwait.
that
So just Jacob just showing how experience can almost single-handedly contribute so much to a team, even under pressure. The required run rate is still only 6.63, so
Yeah.
you're not really
We have
concerned
a
about it.
question from Pyro. He has asked how many runs next over. Sorry, we didn't see the question earlier. Sorry for that. I think with the Harris coming in, I might be expecting one or two extras. And with the way they're bowling, the pressure being built on, I don't think the batters will be going for boundaries. So I think it is going to be 6 runs, 5 or 6 runs. What do you think, Gokul?
I think Harris is going to try bowling himself out. I think at this point, he's probably been the most threatening when it comes to wickets. Um, just with the amount of pace that he gets, though, I feel like there is obviously the likelihood of potential boundaries just through edges, as we saw last time Ismail faced him. It was a thick outside edge and ended up going for four, and it doesn't look like they bought that slip in. They had a slip in last over, but they don't have a slip in now, and I think that's probably not the smartest thing to do. A little bit of shape uh, for Harris against Ismail. Ismail ends up letting go of it, but I feel like you would be expecting another 6 runs and over now. Between now maybe the end of the year, 10th over, they probably just want to make sure that they're in the game without losing a lot of wickets.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you guys are watching the stream. On YouTube, please feel free to click on the link that is in the chat to cricketlaunch.tv to watch this game live. And obviously, if you're watching it live, you can ask us any questions. If you wanna discuss something, we'd be more than happy to answer. And just getting back into the game, Harris is still struggling with that wide line. Is I think it's the sixth or seventh extra of the innings, and bulk of it coming through Harris. So maybe something that they can work on after today's game, trying to reduce the amount of extras
Yeah.
that they're giving away. Something targeted towards the stumps. First time I'm seeing in a long time a ball from Harris that was targeted towards the
Yeah,
stumps.
definitely.
So
I think that's what he should be doing now, changing the mindset. After going for three extras, he should definitely change his line. That might make it difficult for batsmen to judge it.
yeah,
That's
definitely. I
definitely
think
what.
it's important that you make sure that
Yeah,
you get your line and length correct, and there you go. That's the line you want to bowl. Fifth stump, outside of stump, and invite that shot from Ismail. Ismail again, very aggressive batsman. If you look at his career statistics, he does like to get on with the game. He doesn't waste time when he bats. Is that something that you probably want from your batsman at this stage? Maybe not. He is the team captain as well, so a lot of pressure on him maybe today to perform. Slower ball ends up not being the best of fielding efforts in the inner circle, and they get the single. But overall, if you look at it, maybe the best outcome for both the teams. Getting Sasi on strike, he has a couple of balls now. Harris to get something off of Sasi. He has been struggling 4 of 11. Obviously faced the maiden over last over. Probably has a little bit of pressure on him now to score runs. And just to get back onto Ismail's career statistics, 157 games, Kritesh. So one of the
Wow,
more
that's definitely
experienced
very
in.
experienced batter.
Yeah, and he scored 300s and 24 50s. Very experienced batsman, 408 fours. Scores quite a lot of his runs and boundaries. So if it is something that you guys are watching, you should be keeping that in mind. Funny man 6087 asks, where can I watch match? So I'll put the link in the chat box there to cricketlaunch.tv. If you click on that link, it'll take you to our website where you can join us in watching this game. We cover all of the Kuwait matches live on cricketlaunch.tv. So if you want to watch today's game or any other Falcon Championship games, please feel free to save that link in your browser so that you can go on and watch the game on there. Um, so please have a look at the game, and funny man, if you have any questions or if you want to give us any of your insights, please do let us know by typing that out in the chat box. It'll be very nice for us to get your opinion as well about the game and how it's gone so far.
Yeah. Hope you guys saw the save from Harris in the last ball of the over. He it was definitely a great save from him, saving a boundary during the last ball of the over. And we were expecting Freedom Fighters to score closer to 50 end of four play, but it looks like the game has changed totally. Phoenix Riders have controlled them very well in the last two overs, and we did not expect Harris to be very economical. We thought he might leave some extras and go for runs, but he proved us wrong. After the first extra, he changed his bowling line, changed his mindset. He controlled it very well for just 3 runs in the last over, and they are now 30 for 1 after 5.1 overs.
Yeah, a lot of difficulty for Sasi while facing just Jacob. Another ball that bounced a little very like steeply, right? And he had to get on his back foot to basically just guide it down to point. But again, he just looks like he's struggling quite a lot. And I think you're going to see a rash shot maybe from Sasi. Again, he's a very experienced player, so he might not give in to that aggression from just Jacob. He might just try to finish him out. Finish the 4 overs of his spell, and then basically target the weaker bowlers in the team, which is again something very smart. Pyro Legion asks, are all the games on the site in HD? So all of the games that we cover on cricketlaunch.tv are games that we stream through ourselves, so we make sure it's of really good quality and the production is at really good level, so obviously you have a good experience in watching our games. So again, like I mentioned with Funny Man, please feel free again, Pyro, to save that link in your browser, and you'll be able to join us in watching these exciting games. And just as I say that, Ismail takes on Gist Jacobs. I think this is probably the person that you want in your team, somebody like Ismail who's going to take the batsman on. And we said, last over how much he likes taking the players on and scoring his runs and boundaries. And he does take Just Jacob on and scores the first boundary of Just Jacob's bowling in this inning. So 35 for 1 after 5.3 overs, and Ismail looking more aggressive of the two, as Sasi is probably trying to just protecting, he's just focused on protecting his own wicket there.
Yeah.
Do you think we might see some more aggressive shots from Ismail here, Kritesh?
I think Ismail, they have taken time in the last over to try to judge just Jacob's ball,
Yeah,
and since they've taken time, now they're utilizing it very well accordingly. Now they know what is the mindset of just Jacko, and they're utilizing it their way, I would say. And in addition to the answer you gave to the Pyro Legion asking if all the games on the site is HD, it's not only HD. I think this is the fastest source you can find uh, outside in the market. We cover them very quicker, and they're definitely of good quality.
yeah, definitely. That's a really good point from Kritesh. We have really fast streams as well. So if you want to find the fastest source of streams for any of these games, your best option is to go and watch it live on cricketlaunch.tv. Um, announces Ismail has to go for it. Yeah, I think that's the intent. I think Sasi is definitely the more submissive of the batsmen. I don't think he's tried to take on Sasi or any other bowler for that matter. And Ismail, on the other hand, has obviously been very aggressive, scoring two boundaries in his 10 runs. So I think Ismail is very aggressive in nature anyway, and he's just going to go after it. Last ball of the over, and Sasi, like I mentioned, is just happy to see the over through. They get the 6 runs, and there's no need to go, more aggressive. In the end of the day, you don't have that much pressure on them. The required rate is still sub 7, and they haven't lost any more wickets in the power play, which is probably what they would have wanted. Now they can look at maybe scoring singles and doubles for the next
Yeah.
few overs. Maybe not as much as what we would have thought. So a lot of the people, in the chat as well predicted that they might be scoring more than 40, 50 runs maybe in the power play. Um, I think
Yeah,
after the first three
definitely.
overs
I
they
agree
were,
to it. That's what we were also looking at, and we were expecting them to score around 50 runs in the power play,
yeah,
but it didn't work out very well for them.
yeah,
But I don't think it is a negative for them. They have not lost any wickets.
yeah,
These two, even though they have faced a lot of balls and not converting most of them, especially Sasi, he has faced 16 balls, has scored only 6 runs, but but still he looks very positive. He doesn't go for any risky shots. The dot balls doesn't put pressure on Sasi. That is what you expect from a very experienced batsman there.
definitely. Again, just to let you guys know as well, I think a lot of people were asking questions in today's stream about um, the quality of the streams. Obviously, like we mentioned earlier, it's an HD stream. If you click on the link that I have put in the chat box, I'll put it again just so that you guys can save it. It's also pinned in the chat. It's the pinned comment. We have the fastest stream for this competition. So if you go to cricketlaunch.tv, you'll be able to be one of the first people in the world to watch the game live. So make sure you click on that link and watch the game live on cricketlaunch.tv. And obviously, please give us your feedback as well as to how the game's going. If you have any opinion, and obviously, as you watch more games, you'll feel like you maybe want to ask more questions. Please feel free to come and ask that in the YouTube chat section as well. We have Rijal now coming into the bowling attack, spin for the first time in this innings. Left arm spin, we spoke about how important that is. He's done really well with the bat, has a lot of experience, probably one of the most experienced players in the competition. And we can see that he's taken no time to get used to his line and length. First ball as well, bang on target. What do you think about this? This level of importance that you have in the modern game for left arm spinners, Kritesh.
Yeah, definitely. They have been controlling very well. As you see, he has a good turn to it. And especially if you're bowling against right-handed batsmen, it's going to be very difficult for the batsmen to take on you, especially Rijal. He is very experienced all-rounder for Phoenix Raiders. He stayed almost an entire innings. I think he might be taking a wicket
Oh,
there.
Kritesh, I'm
There
really
we go.
sorry to stop you there. The helicopter is out, but it's crashed immediately. Sasi with the helicopter shot. He connected it pretty well, but it just
Very
ended up
well,
not
yeah.
having enough to go past the fielder at long on. Ends up getting caught in the boundary. He didn't have to move an inch and ends up getting out. So very unfortunate end for Sasi. We obviously built him up as his main batsman, but he's ended up getting out for just 6 runs in 18 balls. A very poor innings from Sasi Kumar Pandyan. Not something that he's used to, and the helicopter does not catch flight. Ends up getting caught for just 6 runs. And what do you think that does for the match? Do you think the defense is on? Do you think they're gonna
I
struggle now?
think this is what we saw yesterday as well. Uh, the top batters they came in, they were unable to do the job whatever they're supposed to do. The previous over we were talking how good Sasi is, even though he has faced a lot of balls, he couldn't convert them into runs. That did not put a lot of pressure on him, but I think it did a lot of pressure on him and ended up losing his wicket. Uh, we have seen that most of the middle orders, they're really good. They come in, they take time, get settled, they score runs. I think we can see something very similar today as well. But on the other hand, Phoenix Raiders are definitely trying to put more pressure on them. As you can see, the win predictor on the stream, it has gone from almost 18 percentage, 20 percentage from Phoenix Raiders to 42 percentage now. So definitely they are in the game now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kritesh. And I think, like we mentioned earlier as well, everything can go against you very quickly in this format. All we need is like another couple of overs from Ridgel that's economical, putting a lot of pressure. First ball,
There we
Mitchell
go.
not wasting
That's
any
very
time.
brave.
Inside out shot. There's a fielder in the end who sweeps it up, but there's a couple of runs and a lot of intent from Mitchell. From the first ball itself. Anand says left arm spin strikes again. I think that's something that everybody knows now in this format. Left arm spin is probably one of the most important bowling archetype you need in every team. Sometimes we see even like two, three left arm spinners across the teams. A little bit foolish there, but ends up just going for the single. So in the five balls he's bowled so far, ends up just going for 4 runs and gets the wicket of the big, dangerous Sasi. A lot of importance on this innings from Ismail now. He can't give away
And
his wicket, don't you think,
yeah,
Ritesh?
yeah, and quite interesting thing to notice. Rijal is one of the best all-rounder for Phoenix Raiders. He is going on against Nichal, who is the best all-rounder for Freedom Fighters Cochin. So it is best versus best. Let's see who can do it better.
Definitely, it is the best versus best. A lot of experience in that crease now, both from the bowling and the batting end. So we'll just have to see who ends up coming out on top. Obviously, if you guys are catching us now without watching the rest of the game, just to let you know the target is only 132. Not a lot to chase down. The current rate is just below six. But again, there's not a lot of pressure on them to score runs quickly. Prabosh is the new bowler in. Pyro Legion says shit gets wickets. Kritish, what is your opinion on that?
Uh, yeah, I think
I think it's a bit harsh,
should
don't
get
it,
just yeah,
to
yeah.
say Rijal was bowling shit when he was bowling very consistently. It's a bit harsh to say
I think
he's
he's
shit.
definitely bowling very well. Anon was agreeing to us that left-arm spinners definitely has got a lot of impact, and he proved us that is correct. And definitely they were not able to score a lot of runs coming out of power play. Their current run rate is only 5.86.
Yeah.
I, I think you can't be very harsh on Rajat at this point. He's doing great job there.
Yeah, I think like you just said, you can't really say that somebody's bowling shit when they only go for 4 runs and get an important wicket. So I think obviously there's a lot of pressure on Prabosh Lal now. Doesn't have the best start, and I think we've seen this. A lot of teams who end up bringing their part-time bowlers end up leaking runs unnecessarily in the middle overs. Now you for example bring Prabosh in, there's a lot of pressure on the batsman and he's just given a wide first ball, a single next ball. Maybe makes it a little bit easier for the batsman to face him. Instead you might want to bring a person like Harris, try to get another wicket, don't you think, Radesh?
Yeah, I think bringing in Harris might be definitely putting more pressure to Nigel and Ismail. They were finding it quite difficult against Harris as well as Jacko because but they were somehow managing it to find the line, judging it very well against Jacko. But it was very difficult against Harris. He was really bowling very well with a slip on. I think he might be able to get few wickets
I think
with
the
the
important thing for
outswing which
them
he
now is
has.
to make sure that they don't lose any more wickets. And as long as they're able to do that and they get to a point where they can still keep the game almost, runnable, less than 7 runs required and over, they're going to be happy with it. There's a lot of questionable running choices now between these two,
Yeah,
Mitchell and Ismail. Probably
I
not
think
on the
this is
same
where you should
wavelength.
use what Rijal was doing in the previous game,
Yeah.
previous innings, sorry. Go have a talk with a partner, make some understanding between you two, decide what is the role for both of you, and play accordingly. That will definitely help at this moment, I would say.
Yeah, I think just again going back to that extras point, we compared the extras between the two teams. They only bowled 7 extras in the first innings, and they've bowled so many extras
I
already.
will go high up
This
in the
innings.
air.
I think
That
it's
oh,
he's
he
juggled
was about to
it.
drop it, but
The
then he
juggler is
saved
out.
it
He's
somehow.
juggled it three, four times. Pyro just asked runouts incoming. Should I back runouts? I would always
I
understand why
don't
you want to
think.
back runouts when there's a new batsman in, but in T20 competitions, especially in the Kuwaiti leagues, you see the probability of a run out, being the outcome for a wicket is always more likely. You always back, sorry, not runouts. You always back catches more than runouts, regardless of what phase of the game it is. Maybe if it's a close chase towards the last couple of overs of each innings, runouts might become a bit more probable. But in this case, you always want to back catches, and catches, as long as you take them, win you matches. It was almost a drop catch. It was not really a good effort in the field. He
Yeah.
juggled it, I think, 3 or 4
Somehow
times,
said it.
but it
Yeah.
ended up sticking, and that's what's important. It doesn't matter how you take the catch. What matters is that you do take the catch. And another thing for the freedom fighters that might come to haunt them, we did speak about this in the first innings. I think there was about 5 drop catches. A couple of them a bit hard, but most of them sitters. Those
Yeah.
drop catches probably might end up costing them the game. The probability of the match has now shifted, as you guys can see on your screen.
It's almost
It's almost an evens
events
game
now.
now. So if you want to back any team, I think this is your chance to back the team. Um Prabosh probably not bowling the best line, ends up getting a wicket after those 2 extras. And at this point, it looks like this game can go anywhere. And if you talk to Sudhir or Sahil Khan from the beginning of this innings, I think they'll be very excited to see how this game ends, because I think they were backing the defense. That
Oh,
misfield probably
there's a
doesn't really
misfield
help.
there. Yeah. This is what you should improve on: misfield and drop catches. If you will improve on those things, then defending a low total is very likely for you, I would say.
Yeah, I think another wicket now, and the difference looks very probable. So
Yeah.
any chance they get, even if it's a half chance, there's a ball in the air again,
There we
inside out
go.
shot. Incredible shot for somebody who's facing his second ball. Adish, I didn't expect him to do that, but second time we're seeing Ismail did something similar as well. If you remember, he played his
Mhm.
second ball
Yeah.
with a lot of intent and got a boundary. So maybe they're gonna go after it now. They probably think there's no point in trying to take the game deep. Might as well just
That's
put
true.
themselves in a good condition, a good position, so that if they do get to the later stage, and even if they don't have wickets, they're not expecting a lot from their tail enders. It just might mean that in the next couple of overs you might be expecting maybe about 8-9 runs an over, especially considering that the best quality of bowlers are not going to be bowling anymore. Obviously Rijal is included in that list. So Rijal is somebody that we, Kritish and I, consider as like a top quality
Top
bowler.
bowler. Yeah,
So you need to keep
definitely.
that in mind. So if you guys are somebody who's thinking about the next over and the amount of runs they're going to be scoring in the next over, please do keep that in mind, that Rijal will be bowling the next over and probably one of the overs after that as well. So good end to the over with a dot ball, but obviously that boundary probably making all of his hard work in that initial first 5 balls uh, maybe not as useful, but nonetheless they got the wicket, and I think that's probably more important than anything else. Ismail 13 of 13, Adarsh 4 of 3, played a really good shot. So if anybody wants to back Adarsh, I probably would say yes. You should back him and his ability to score. I think he might be looking at maybe 20 runs, 22 runs from now. Do you think for Adarsh?
I think definitely there is a possible. It is not like he has gone for a loose shot,
Yeah,
very risky shot. He has played it with quite intent, finding a gap. It's a very positive shot. So
yeah.
I think 20 runs from Adarsh is it's very good possibility for
Yeah.
him. There we go. Our top bowler, left arm spinner, Rijal is back.
Yeah, I think this is the matchup I really want to see, Ismail versus Rijal, because Rijal's the kind of person, we spoke about this earlier in the game, we spoke about this earlier in the innings as well. He loves to take on the bowlers, and he's not the kind of person who's going to just hang around and try to knock singles or doubles. He scores a lot of his runs and boundaries as well. So you probably want as Rijal, you probably want to invite the aggressive shots,
Ooh,
maybe
that's a
flight
good
the ball
turn
up.
from Rijal there.
It's an incredibly good ball. So I think Pyro, you should be watching this now. You might be,
Mhm.
second guessing yourself. You said left, so not Pyro. I think it was Pyro. He said shit gets wickets when he saw Rijal ball last over. It's not really shit. He's bowling really good, consistent line length, a lot of flight. He's getting the turn that we were talking about in that first inning. So this is the kind of bowling that you want from your main top all rounder in the team. And Rijal is showing that he can contribute with the bat, and he can now contribute with the ball a little bit more flight than he would have used to. But ended up getting a lot of dip and almost yorked the batsman, who ended up digging it out for a single, just one of that ball. So just 2 runs of the first 3 balls in the over, and Ismail versus Rijal now. As a neutral, I'm licking my lips. I think there's a lot of things that can happen in this matchup. I think he's going to go for it. I think he thought about it for a second, but ended up blocking it instead, which is probably the smart thing to do. He does like to flight the ball a lot, Rigel, and I think there's going to be a potential wicket coming soon. Do you think, Ritesh?
Yeah, there's pressure being built up, so I think there is a good chance for wicket. And also, beginning of the second innings, it looked like chasing 130, they wouldn't take so long. They were doing it.
There
Oh,
we go.
there we go. That's
We
very
call
high
the
up in the
potential
air.
wicket. So if any of you was
There we go. That's a
watching,
wicket.
you can give us the you can give us a thumbs up in the chat because just now we said there's a wicket coming and the wickets come, and there you go, Pyro. That's why you don't say anything bad about the goat Rigel. He's got the experience, and he got the experienced man out as well. Ismail, I think you could have seen over the last few balls, it looked like he wanted to go after Rigel there, but that's not what you expect from your captain. I think the freedom fighters from Cochin are going to be a bit disappointed with their captain there, almost throwing away his wicket. Not ideal, and I think it's almost flipped the match winner now. Do you think Phoenix
Yeah.
Riders probably more likely to win the game after losing a big wicket like Ismail?
Yeah, I think they both are sailing the same ship, I would say, because at the end of 10 overs, Phoenix Raiders were 55. I think they were also somewhere around 4 wickets at that point. So it's still an even game. It really depends on the middle order and the tail enders of freedom fighters to if they're capable of defending this, I mean, chasing this target. But from the bowling perspective, Phoenix are doing a really great job. This is the first time they're coming out in this tournament. They've proved that they've got a strong lineup, even though the batting wasn't strong enough. Chasing a low total, I mean, sorry, defending a low total seemed very difficult, but they proved us that it is very much possible if they have a great bowling lineup.
Definitely, I definitely agree with you on that, Kritesh. And I think there's like just one ball left in this over now, and the 16-year-old has come out to bat. This is a very interesting matchup. It's got like a gully fielder in. I think he's expecting maybe a rash shot from the youngster. One ball to go. I think if you're Izan, you probably want to just block the ball and not lose your wicket. Um,
Yeah, that's what he does there.
Exactly. A lot of quality and maturity shown by the 16-year-old, something that we haven't really seen from the older batsmen across both the teams today. And I think a few people have commented. Let's just go through the comments quickly. Pyro says he takes his words back. There you go, Kritesh. So that's something
There we
for
go.
you. So this is why, Pyro, you don't go against our in-house analyst Kritesh. He knows exactly what he's talking about. Aaron says, "Lol, you always back Rigel the goat." So a lot of love for Rigel in the chat today. Funny man says, "Garbage
Just to
cricket."
say that even though his batting was not great, he was the one who contributed a lot for the total, even though it is a very low total, but he was the one who contributed a lot towards that.
Yeah,
And also
it's
he's
a good
contributing a
shot
lot.
from
Oh,
Adarsh there, and it's gone for four. Just to reply to Funny Man, I know you're probably comparing this level of cricket with international level cricket. Obviously, there is a massive level of difference in quality, but these guys, they've been playing quite a lot of domestic cricket in Kuwait, and they know what they're doing. And quite a lot of these players could play at a pretty high level in a lot of different competitions. We've seen something similar in ECN as well. So I don't think it's fair to say this is garbage cricket. If you look at yesterday's game, I think you'd be looking at a very positive instance where Kashmir 11 versus the Afghan Tigers. It was a very complex game, topsy turvy. A lot of big hits towards the end. A lot of exciting quality cricket in the end. And it was a nail biting finish. So. I don't think it's fair to call this level of cricket garbage cricket. I think it's still really good quality cricket. Obviously, some players across both the teams, a little bit better than the others. Here you're looking at a 16-year-old Izan. Very brave for him to come and play against adults, and obviously he's done a really good job with the ball. Ended up getting a wicket as well. You might end up seeing him play a good quality of cricket now to help his team win the game.
yeah, I
Chunk.
definitely agree. And to add on to that, I would say initially we were seeing like a one-sided game, but It's definitely not one-sided, and there is like a lot of pressure on both the teams now. It is getting very exciting. It's very difficult to say who will win from here. If you consider this as a garbage cricket, I would say maybe let's have a quiz. Let's see who do you think might win. It is very difficult to judge. That's what keeping this cricket very exciting.
Exactly, it is very competitive in the end of the day for the level that they play in, and a lot of them obviously have played a lot of cricket. You know, you look at somebody like Rajil, he's played a lot of games, so you can't say somebody like that is bowling shit. And I think Pyro said that earlier. He called it shit bowling, but he realized very quickly how good quality of player somebody like Rajal is. Chandrasekhar says, I think if you sorry, I think if Hisham gone,
Mhm.
then sure win for Phoenix. I agree. I think in these kind of situations, almost one batsman, you know, becomes the entire backbone of the batting lineup. And at this point, Adarsh is a good batsman. I think if Adarsh stays, they still have a good chance of winning the game, as you can see from the predictions that are coming through. It does look like it's still an evens game, and people are still backing them. And I think they still have a couple of batsmen who can come and play a good enough role. Within this team. Febin is there, Rahmat Kader is there. So I think they still have a, set of batsmen who can come and bat. And again, Adarsh Nair, good batsman, experienced batsman. Izan probably not as much on the opposite end of the spectrum. Hasn't really played a lot of games, only 25 games overall. So you might be expecting a little bit too much from him. But I think his role now within this team is to make sure that he's able to hold one end, rotate strike, and not lose any more wickets. So
Ooh, there we go. Goat. There we go. Goat, Richard.
there you
Has
go.
taken
So
another wicket.
that's again for you, funny man. I think Rijal has come back and just showed you how good he can be. I was just talking about how good a player Adarsh is, but when you play against somebody like Rijal, I think to me, for me, if you ask me Kritesh today, my man of the match is Rijal. He came into
Definitely, I
bat when
agree.
his team was
Definitely,
struggling.
100%.
He ended up, playing an anchor role, scored maybe not as much runs as he would have wanted, but made sure that he didn't lose his wicket unnecessarily, and then ended up making sure that his team got to a defendable target that we mentioned. Maybe 130, 135 would be, defendable from their perspective. And initially, we did question whether they would be able to defend it, but Rijil's come in and shown why he's, one of the better players in the league. He's come in and bowled really well in his 13 balls. He's only given away 7 runs, and he's got 3 key wickets. And all of a sudden, the match winner from a few overs ago has flipped, and it looks very likely that the freedom fighters are going to end up losing this game. But we did see something similar yesterday. I think if you remember, before Sabir came out to bat for the Kashmir 11, again, a team who hasn't won a game so far in the competition, it did look like it was going to be one-way traffic for the Afghan Tigers, and it looked like it's going to be an easy win for the Afghan Tigers. But you never know. You just need one batsman to step up and show their quality. And today it could be Izan, the 16-year-old. What a story that would be. Or it could be Anujit, who's come out to bat against Rijal. I think
Ooh, that's a great turn again from Richard. It's very risky for the batters to judge it. I think he would have gotten another wicket if he did not place his bat exactly on time. That would have been an LBW then.
definitely, and I also think that regardless of the level that you play in, to face a left arm spinner who's bowling this consistent line and length is
Ooh, there
another
we go again.
incredible ball from Rijal. I think anybody would be struggling to face a bowler like Rijal at this moment in time. He's very confident. He's flighting the ball up. He's inviting the shot from the batsman, or the front foot defense from the batsman. He's beating him every single time. So I think regardless of who the batsman is, I think at this level you're going to struggle against a player like Rijal. Another
There
good
we go. I
ball.
think it might be a wicket. I think that's gone. There we go.
Yeah,
Richard.
the
He
goal.
makes it look very easy for him
The
taking
goat
wickets.
strikes again. The goat does what the goat wants. Come on, guys, let's get some goats in the chat. If you're watching Rizal, you have to appreciate how good a bowling performance this has been. The 16-year-old is in shock 'cause somehow it's only him who's been able to just face Rizal without wanting to throw his wicket away. So Anujit Mulakal getting out for a not able to score a single run. I think
From the very first ball, it was very difficult for him to judge against Rijal. he put him on pressure. The first two balls got his wicket. In the third ball, that is what you expect from a very experienced all-rounder there. That to a left-arm spinner clearly dominating the bowling out there.
Yes, and on the goat strikes again. So this is why you back your main players. This is why somebody like Rijul is so important to have in your team at this level. And it looks like he's going to make sure almost single-handedly that the Phoenix win their first game. So nine
Do you
extras
think
so far.
Gokul, he has got two more balls left? Do you think there might be a chance he gets another wicket in this over?
That would be incredible. A four-wicket maiden would be something that I haven't seen in a long time in any level of cricket that I have covered. So it'll be very interesting to see if it is, something that will happen. But if you guys are, on the YouTube, stream, please click on the link in the chat, the pinned comment, so you can join us to watch this. Or there might have been a chance, a little
Ooh,
bit of grip, a little bit of turn for Rajul again, and Rahmat unable to keep the ball low and ends up chipping it almost back to Rijal, but
they're
lucky
risky
not to give
there.
his wicket away.
They don't want to risk a run as well there. They can't risk it.
And a lot of turn and no front foot movement for Ahmad. It's going to be a quick run. They might run the second. There's a lot of confusion, but good running from the 16-year-old. He made a good call and he made sure he got to the non-strikers. And so Rijal's very
Yeah,
unhappy with that outcome because he could have had a two-wicket maiden, but ended up giving 2 runs away in the last ball. But I don't think he can complain. 4 for 9 after three
yeah,
overs. And if you guys are watching, keep that in mind because the over after the next. I'm sure he's going to come back and complete his full quota. So
yeah.
if you are looking, I think Pyro was asking about the amount of runs you can score in an over, in the next over. So that's the kind of things that you need to keep in mind. Please feel free to click on the link in the chat and watch the game live at cricketlounge.tv. Funny Man says Freedom Fighter is the name. Uh, but he calls them fixes. I think it's a bit it's a bit unfortunate that you feel like they're fixing the game. I personally think there is a difference in quality. I feel like if Rigel
Yeah.
wasn't bowling today, you're looking at a completely different outcome today, funny
Different
man.
game. Yes,
Even
I
when
definitely agree.
they were batting before Rigel came to bowl, even after they lost their first couple of wickets, it did look like it's going to be an easy chase for them because they had Ismail, they had the quality batsmen still in the team, and even now, if you look at the numbers, it doesn't really look like it's the craziest chase you've ever seen. It's still, mathematically very possible for them to chase. But the only thing is when you have somebody like Rijal who bowls very economically and gets you wickets, it puts you under a lot of pressure. And obviously, funny man, if you joined our conversation earlier, I think you were a bit late. If you were
Ooh, there
watching,
we go. It's high up in the air now. Do you think there's a chance for wicket? You go on,
the,
can't drop it. Come on. That is not
it's
you
a bit
expect to
harder
see.
because he's diving,
Yeah.
front. It's a more complicated catch, but again, you probably want to see those being taken. But again, just to get back to funny man, you weren't watching the stream, I presume, in the beginning of the game. We were talking to Pyro, Anon, and another couple of guys who I think it was Chandrasekhar as well, who was talking a lot about this team and the bowling lineup. We did extensively talk about the bowling lineup in the first innings, and we spoke about how important a bowler Rijal is. So maybe if you were, watching us from the beginning of the stream, you might have had a different opinion, maybe a different team that you would have backed. Maybe instead of backing Freedom Fighters, you would have probably backed. Um, the Phoenix. So maybe for tomorrow, if you are interested in watching any of these games, join in on our stream. I think it's going to be an earlier stream tomorrow because of the game being played on the weekend in Kuwait. Join us and we can give you our insights and maybe that's helpful for you. Again, the quality of cricket you can argue isn't top level, but again, there are some players. Harris again in this team, really good
There we go.
player.
It's again
Rijal,
high
good
up in the
player.
air. Do you think they can do it now? They've done it.
There you go.
Wicketkeeper comes to it, and
Good
there is no
catch again.
dropping this time.
Funny man. If you look at that catch, so it is a hard catch to take under the floodlights, white ball under the floodlights. You see a lot of drop catches in this league, but it was a good catch from the wicketkeeper. And that's what you want to see. You want to see cricket grow everywhere. And I don't think it's fair to make fun of people for their level of quality because obviously different players play at different qualities. But everybody loves the game. Everybody plays for the love of the game. And again, if you want to get more insights about the competition, about the players, we talk a lot about the stats, a lot about their previous performances. You can join us tomorrow or any of the other games as well, and we'll be more than happy to help you out with our perspectives. Uh, Again, it almost looks like it might be a you know all out today.
One-sided game
Unfortunately,
now.
yeah, we initially expected it to be the opposite way, and a one-sided game the opposite way. Febin now comes to bat. He can bat. We have seen Febin bat before. He has
I think
good
now
enough
they have
stats to prove that
it's
he's
a
able to bat.
yeah. Now they're going back with Rizal to finish a spell.
Yeah,
Clearly that is what you want to do now. I
yeah.
think coming after Rizal, they should bring in Harris and just Jacob to finish the spell. They've got 1 over each
Yeah,
to
definitely. I
go
think
on.
they should
That
be as aggressive as
yeah,
possible. And Izan probably should just try to face as many balls as he can now without losing his wicket. Well played. See,
he's
that's
playing
really good
very
front foot
positive.
defense for a 16-year-old. I assure you that 16-year-old is going to be playing at a really good level, maybe even representing Kuwait in the future at an international level. So he's facing a very experienced bowler in Rijal, who's almost single-handedly taken out half his team, and he's played a really good shot,
Ooh, that's a
taken
great
Rijal
shot from
over the
him.
bowler. But there's a fielder in long on who's going to come and cover it. But again, funny man, I hope you're watching that because the 16-year-old is proving to you why this isn't really bad level of cricket. The 16-year-old is, able to take on a experienced bowler who's almost single-handedly wiped out his batting lineup. And then at the same time, if you look at somebody like, Febin, we spoke about Febin, previously. He has played, a good role in, some of these games for his teams. Just to like let you know his stats. Funny man, 92 matches. His highest score is 59, but he's got five 50s and he's got 120 boundaries and 31
So
sixes.
I think just to add to that, these two are definitely capable of chasing this target. I would say.
Yeah,
I think there is chance for them. It is not very far away. It's not out of their reach. They
yeah.
can still do it.
I mean,
That's just
we say the statement all the time. Cricket is a funny game, and we saw that yesterday as well. The chasing team looked like they were completely out of the game, and one man, army Shabir, along with some assistance from the tail, ended up winning the game with like three balls to go. So, you never know, and that was a bigger target. I think it was about 170 if I remember correctly. So, the target today isn't big enough for them to have a problem. It's just that this bowling from Rijal is incredibly good. Yeah, 35 runs, six wickets gone. Again, funny man. You could argue international cricket. You see that as well. I've seen instances where Sri Lanka have gotten out for 50 runs, and that's an international team. So you can't really say that the quality of the cricket is bad,
that's another wicket. There we
because
go. Risha has
I
taken
think
it.
I think that's an unfortunate call. I think that ball was going down leg side. I think that's a
Yeah,
poor decision from the umpire. But
yeah, that's what I think.
when you bowl consistently, you bowl well. You end up having decisions go your way. I think Febin's arguing with the umpire as well that that's a unfortunate call for the youngster, 16-year-old. I don't think that's out. I think it's unfortunate that it's been given out. But you are correct, funny man. 35 runs, six wickets. It's not what you expect. But you also see games where they score 200 runs in this competition. So you have to choose your battles wisely. And I think just making sure that you know a lot about these guys obviously helps. And if you don't know, you can come and ask us, and we'll be more than happy to give you, our insights, our information, that what we have about these guys. And obviously, watching the game on cricketlaunch.tv would help as well because it's the fastest stream. Yes, I am from India. Both of us are, and we're watching the game in India as well. But we like watching cricket all around the world. We watch a lot of ECN. We watch games in the West Indies when for example the CPL is going on. So if you do wanna watch a lot of games and you wanna ask us questions, please feel free to subscribe to our channel, click on the link in the chat and watch live with us on cricketlaunch.tv. As I mentioned again, we have the fastest stream for this competition in Kuwait, and we also have a lot of other tournaments that we cover. I think last week we were covering a lot of the games in the UAE. I know they have I think what, D20, D10. They also have a lot of domestic games that they play there that we cover on cricketlaunch.tv. So if you do want to join us for those games as well, feel free to come and join us. Thank you for your feedback. We're very happy to hear that you like our commentary. Obviously, we try to do our best to make it, entertaining and informative for you guys. Only problem is, we're not going to be commentating on an international game anytime soon. So, if you would like to listen to our commentary, you're probably going to be watching some similar, quality of league. As this. But again, we've seen games in this competition that have been very high scoring. Again, you can go to the previous games on our website and watch those games as well. A lot of very close games. I think today it probably isn't the best game. I think both the teams have underperformed, and it's just been a couple of players from both the teams who've had a good day. And I think Rizal definitely being the top of those set of players who contributed to their team. But overall, I think this competition, the Falcons champions, they have a lot of great players. This is the Silver Cup, which is basically the second division, but there is also the gold division. So the Falcons Champions Gold Cup is probably where you might see, better quality players, better quality, teams.
I think that is what Funny Man is expecting. So if you do join us for the Gold Cup, you'll be seeing a better level of cricket than this. I think
Yeah.
that is what you're expecting
Yeah, I
there, Funny
think
Man.
tomorrow's games are in the Gold Cup. So you know what, funny man, just so that you're happy with the level of cricket that you see, why don't you join us tomorrow for the stream that we're going to be covering? It's going to be the Gold Cup. If you subscribe to us and click on the notifications button, you will get a notification when we go live, and you can join us, and we can have a conversation with you tomorrow. And I'm sure that you're going to be more excited to watch that game. Obviously, the Gold Cup is basically the first division of this competition, and the Silver Cup is the second division. So you're looking at the quality difference between the divisions as well. Just to like let you know, for example, AP11, a couple of days, scored 214 runs for just the loss of 4 wickets in the Gold Cup. Again, this is on the website. It's on cricketlaunch.tv. So if you go back to the previous games, you'll be able to see. And one of our favorites, one of mine and Kritesh's favorite players in this competition, his name is Kadir Wale. Honestly, if you watch Kadir Wali bat, you'll be very excited. You'll be very happy. He scores at an incredibly high strike rate. I think it was about 210 so far in the competition. He scored an incredibly exciting 85 runs in that match, and in return they scored, I think it was 144 or 145
Yeah,
in the chase. So
it was very difficult for them to chase. It was single-handedly Kadewali. He scored 85 runs of just 35 balls. That
yeah,
is really incredible. So you could be looking at some that level of cricket if you join us for later on the game,
yeah. So
the games which
I
we have later on.
definitely would want to encourage you to join us for the games tomorrow, so that you can basically have a look at the difference in quality between the Silver Cup and the Gold Cup, and also maybe for any of the future games that we cover in the UAE. So Ranjit is now the batsman. I think they're probably going to just want to
Ooh,
score as
that's a
many
good.
runs as possible, just to make sure that they don't lose out on that run rate. Um,
They need to go very high on the run rate. The current run rate is just 5, whereas the required run rate is somewhere about 10. So
yeah.
definitely they need to do something there. It is definitely testing the tail enders out there. But let's see. What do you think of bringing a new bowler at this point, Gokul? We were talking that if they use Harris and the just Jacobs
Yeah.
each over whatever they have got, it could be very easy that they end up taking all the wickets and it'll be easy for them to defend the total. Whereas
Yeah.
they've changed the mind going on with a new bowler. I'm not quite sure if this works out very well for them. I think this bowler bringing in a spinner at this time against tailenders, they're finding it very difficult to judge the turn of the ball. As we said, the ball really turns very well towards second innings, and that is what is happening now,
Yeah.
which has been very working out very well in the way for Rijal.
Yeah.
That is the turn of ball has definitely helped him take a lot of wickets, and I think that might be what helping Jason out there. That is what brought them bring a spinner at this point.
Just before I continue, thank you so much, Funny Man, for the subscription. Really happy that you are enjoying the commentary here. Just another thing that I wanted to say, obviously, like, Kritish asked why bring a bowler like Jason in when you have, a couple of bowlers who could be, considered your main bowlers, and Harris and Josh Jacob, who could come and just finish the game off. I think if the game was closer, that's a really good inside-out shot, but I don't think it's got enough on it to go all the way for six. Ends
Oh,
up
that's a
getting caught in the
wicket.
boundary, and Febin goes for six of the eight balls. I think the reason why they bought Jason in now and not Harris and Josh Jacob is because they know they've won the game. They don't really need to, maybe risk any injuries with the other players. I think they're more than happy to give opportunity to another bowler just to see how good they are. Again, you need to remember it is their first game of the season so far for the Phoenix. So you can just rotate your bowlers around, give people who don't normally bowl an opportunity to see how well they're able to bowl, and you might find somebody like Jason who's able to come up and clean up the tailenders. And I think it's Sijo who comes in last man. Obviously didn't really bowl well. He was pretty decent in the field, but he ended up going for a lot of runs in his over that he bowled. He probably wouldn't want to like, lose his wicket. It might be an opportunity for these two to just see the game through, maybe get a few overs under their belt. Maybe does their confidence a little bit of good
I
as well.
think that might be another wicket. Let's see. Yeah, that's another wicket there.
So
There we
Jason's
go.
basically just come and finish the tail enders. Wild swing from our man Sijo. So probably not the best day for him. Ends up losing his wicket very cheaply in the end, and didn't do a lot with the ball or in the field. So a pretty subdued day for Sijo. But a pretty sad day for the freedom fighters. I think
This question.
they could have done really well. They set themselves up with the ball really well, but their batting has been very disappointing. Nobody even getting a consistent start. Only three batsmen even getting into the double digits, which is very poor. With the amount of time that all of them had to bat. You expected more. Sasi Kumar obviously getting off for just 6 runs in the 18 balls that he faced, just unacceptable. A lot of that basically to be was caused because of the good bowling from just Jacob. He bowled really well, got a maiden over as well. 13 dots in the 3 overs that he bowled is incredible, and ended up getting hit for a couple of boundaries because of A, his pace, and B, it being top edges. Harris, a bit wavered with his extras. Again, something that you guys can keep in mind if he bowls in the future. He does tend to bowl a lot of extras because he finds it difficult to control the movement of his ball. But overall, exciting day of cricket comes to an end, and Phoenix Riders wins their first game, and freedom fighters have a lot of work to do. Don't you think, Ritesh?
Yeah, definitely. To add on to that, during the first innings, we were talking that how important it is to put up a great total at this particular venue because the boundaries are very shorter. So you can, if a player like Wally, if he comes in single-handedly, he'll be able to chase this score of 130. I would say so. But whereas Phoenix Raiders have proved us wrong, they have defended the total very well. And also, I would like to thank Funny Man for keeping us keeping us like
Engaged.
engaged all the time, asking us a lot of questions. It's really great. Please join us for the Goal League tomorrow. We'll have a lot of discussion like today.
Yeah, it was
And
very
thank you,
nice to
guys.
see so many people joining us today and giving their insights about the game and asking a lot of questions. Obviously, we're really happy to see that, and we hope you guys join us for the future games as well. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel and also click on the link and save the cricketlaunch.tv link on your browser so that you can join in for any of the future games. Tomorrow's game seems to be a game that's going to be a very interesting game between the challengers and MEC study. So hopefully you guys can join us for that as well. And thank you so much for your time. And hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day as well.
Thank you, guys.